Hello, everybody. Welcome along. My name's Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel, and you are watching the Saturday Superstream. We're going to be here for the next 2.5 hours, and probably a little bit more, normally is, reacting to all of the goings on in the Saturday 3 p.m. kickoffs. You'll see on the ticker, we already have a couple of results through from the 12:30s. We'll have a look at them imminently. It was Leicester 1, Leeds 0. I had half an eye on that in the first half. Leeds looked the better side then, but they've gone under again. So we'll have a look at the implications of that. The bottom of the Premier League. At the top of the Championship, Fulham won again. Blackburn lost again. I know Blackburn won last week, but generally they're slipping. Fulham look like just a few, 3-4 wins away from being certain to be promoted now, don't they? And their goals tally grows and grows and grows. We are here in association. Which hand do I have to use? That hand with WhiteHartDane. We'll check in with their ACCA suggestions in just a jiffy. But let's say some hellos down there in the chat. Welcome, Callum, Finley, Ewan, Leeds, Jonathan, Dave, Nat, Susan, Anir, Mr. Radio Floyd, Terence, Claire. Who else have we got? Phil, Mark, Fulham 58, Stephen, and Elliot down there. Hopefully we've had hellos to everybody down in there. Remember, this show is all about the chat, so make sure you keep in touch right throughout the afternoon, especially if you've got eyes or ears on your team. Let's have a look at what is going to be going on. Can you let me know? I want your 3 big games for me, please. 1 for the Premier League, 1 for the Championship, and 1 for League One. Let me know your 3 big games. What is jumping off the page at you in terms of this fixture list for this Super Stream? As I said, it was Leicester 1, Leeds 0. In the Premier League, it's Villa, Southampton, Burnley, Chelsea, Newcastle, Brighton. This one makes my list. Norwich, Brentford. Wow. And Wolves v Crystal Palace. Later on, it is Liverpool versus West Ham. Give me 1 for each of the leagues we cover. I think mine is Norwich, Brentford there. But if you have a different one, do let me know in the chat. In the Championship, we've already had Fulham 2, Blackburn 0. We've got Bristol City, Birmingham, Derby, Barnsley. I think we're going to put a big tick by that one. I'm very much looking at the relegation battles in both the Premier League and the Championship there. That would get my vote. Hull, West Brom, Middlesbrough, Luton will probably get a lot of votes. Preston, Bournemouth, QPR, Cardiff, Reading, Millwall, Stoke, Blackpool, Swansea and Coventry. League One, Cambridge, Shrewsbury, Charlton, Sunderland, which just makes me think of that playoff final. Cheltenham, Doncaster, Crewe, Wickham, Fleetwood, Ipswich, Gillingham, Bolton, Lincoln, Sheffield Wednesday, Oxford, Burton, Plymouth, Morecambe, Pompey, Accrington. I think my tick, though, goes for Rotherham, MK Dons, and it's Wigan versus Wimbledon. So what are your big games that you've got your eye on? I'm looking at Norwich, Brentford in the Premier League. I'm looking at Derby, Barnsley in the Championship, and I'm looking at Rotherham, MK in League One. Let's get some suggestions in here. John's at Colchester. That might come up on one of our ACCAs, actually. Norwich, Brentford, absolutely. Stephen, all over the mighty Borough versus the mighty Luton. Got that the wrong way around there. There you go. Charlton, Sunderland's a good shout there. Newcastle, Bournemouth and Sunderland. Rotherham and MK Dons does look like a big one, doesn't it? Norwich, Brentford, Borough, Luton, Fleetwood, Ipswich, Norwich, Brentford, Derby, Barnsley, Charlton, Sunderland. Yeah, a lot of the same names coming up. We've got a few big uns today, and we're across it with our friends over at WhiteHartDane. Head over to WhiteHartDane.com. It's completely free. Just bung in your email address to get their tips. You want to know what they are. This is what we're following today. The win treble is, and this is where everyone hopes that their team is not in the win treble, because that's how football fans and superstition works. But we have got, at a price of 7 to 1, you're going to get a little boost if you head over to Bet365 via the WhiteHartDane link. Sheffield Wednesday to beat Lincoln, Oxford to beat Burton, and it's a League One treble. Pompey, to beat Accrington. If you want to get involved in that, if you want to get the booster from Bet365, head over to whatacker.com, wrong hand, and going back, Sheffield Wednesday, Oxford and Pompey is the win treble. The both teams to score treble is Bristol City, although they let us down on a BTTS last week, didn't they, at Forest, against Birmingham. I think they've got some defenders this week. And we're down to League Two for the other two, Newport, Bristol Rovers, Oldham, Carlisle. They won't be on the ticker, but keep an eye on that one. The big money ACCA is good fun this week. By the way, you get 5-1. You're going to get a little bit of a boost if you follow the What ACCA link. The big money ACCA, we've got a couple of BTTSs in there. Reading, Millwall and Stoke Blackpool, yes, on the BTTS. And then Sunderland to beat Charlton. Oh, God. Ipswich to beat Fleetwood. And Walsall to beat Barrow. 3 away wins to BTTS brings you 52-1. Head over to whatacker.com. They've partnered up. Good people there. Don't assume it's some horrible, massive brand. It's not. I've met with all of them and they've been kind enough to get on board with a Superstream. So do head over and sign up with your email address over at whatacker.com. We'll look at some team news in just a second. Can I just put the shout out for some likes? We are at 21 likes. I would love us to get up to 50. So can you get us up to 50 likes? If you're watching right now, do hit that like button. We'll see if we can get over 50 once I've done the team news. Let's start with the Premier League then, and we'll try and rattle through nice and quickly. I'm going to do all of the Premier League. Maybe in the way you picked out your big games, why don't you pick out your big players? One per game, please. Let me know who your big players are you're looking at in these fixtures. Up in the Premier League, it's Villa versus Southampton. Martinez, Cash, Chambers, Mings, Young at left back, interesting. Ramsey, Louise, McGinn, Watkins, Ings, and Coutinho. For Southampton, Forster, Livramento, Bednarek, Stevens, Perro, Elyounoussi, Romeo, Ward, Prowse, Armstrong, Adams, and Broya. I think I'm picking out James Ward-Prowse in that one. Let me know your big players and your thoughts on that specific team news. Let's have a look at Burnley versus Chelsea. Luton had a good go at Chelsea in midweek, doing the Championship proud, as did Middlesbrough against Spurs, we should say as well. For Burnley, Pope, Roberts, Tarkovsky, Collins, Taylor, McNeil, Brownhill, Westwood, Lennon, Rodriguez and Weghorst, Mendy, Chalobah, Silva, Rudiger, Niguez, James, Kante, Jorginho, Mount, Pulisic, and Havertz there for Chelsea. Let me know your big players and your thoughts on the team news over there. 3 to go in the Premier League. We've got Newcastle versus Brighton. Long trip for the Brighton fans. They would have been up early this morning, won't they? Dubravka in goal for Newcastle. Kraft, obviously over Trippier at the moment. Sharp, Burn, Target. Joe Linton, Shelvey, Willock, Murphy, Wood, Fraser. For Brighton, Sanchez, Veltman, Dunk, Duffy, Cucurella, Lamptey, Moda, Alzate, Gross, Trossard, and a start for Welbeck. 2 more in the Premier League. I got this one down as my big game in the Premier League today. It's Norwich versus Brentford. A dare not lose game for either side, and a real big win if either team can get it here. Krull, Byram, Hanley, Gibson, Williams. No Aarons for Norwich. They tend to be better with him. He tends to never miss a game, actually, so maybe I shouldn't say that. Norman, McLean, and Gilmore. Sargent, Rasica. Pookie up top. For Brentford, Raya, Asia, Janssen, Pinnock, Henry. And Buemo in the midfield, possibly. Janelt, Norgard, Eriksson starts. Canos, Antonio. I don't suspect that will be the formation, perhaps. Eriksson obviously played down the right famously for Spurs, didn't he? Number 10, less so. But I don't see Canos being up front. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Canos plays down the left, maybe Buemo up top. Who knows? Maybe an old school 4-3-3 for Brentford there. We'll find out when the game kicks off, won't we? Nobody knows. We can guess, can't we? Finally, in the Premier League, it's Wolves versus Palace. Get your thoughts in on this one. Let me know your big players for this game. For Wolves, Sarr, Killman, Cody, Saiz, Marcel, Hoever, Neves, Moutinho, Podence, Neto, and Huang. For Palace, Gaita, Klein, Anderson, Gray, Mitchell, Schlupp, Koyate, Gallagher, Elise, Mateta, and Zaha. Let's go in and get some comments. Rasicha, a key player for Norwich today. Pookie says Ewan. What else have we got in? Brozier and Coutinho. Lots of shouts for Pookie. Can make a difference if he's got his shooting boots on, which he generally does, doesn't he? First goal, Norwich, Brentford will be massive. Yes, indeed, it will. Let's have a look at the team news for the Championship game. So again, get me your key players. Now, obviously, in the Championship, we did have 2 games last night, and we have had 1 game already. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 remaining. I couldn't remember whether there was any tomorrow. Let's start and let me know your key players in here. I can see one big head, Manchester United Loney jumping off the page there at Bristol City versus Brentford. Do let me know your key players there. Bentley in goal for Bristol City. De Silva, Callas, Closer, Bell, James, Williams, Scott, Vyman, Martin, and Semenyo. In goal for Birmingham, who do seem to have some centre-halves today, Etheridge, Graham, Roberts, Gordon, and Pedersen. Bakuna, Gardner, Sunjic, and Chong returns for Birmingham. They're definitely better with him. Taylor and Hernandez up top. So Birmingham look less injury ravaged. Bristol City quite chaotic, but pretty good going forward, aren't they? And that is on our BTTS Yes game. So we hope for goals in that one. Do let me know if there are any problems with the audio. Looks like it's okay. Do let me know in the chat. That may just be MG Chef's phone or iPad or laptop or TV or whatever he's watching this on. Do let me know all is well. What a game this one is. Derby versus Barnsley. Woof already for this one. Let me know your key players across these games, please, guys. Allsop, Byrne, Davis, Cashin, and Ibowie across the back. So not necessarily the first choice back four for Derby. Bird, Bielik, Morrison, Lawrence, Ebasele, and Plange. A little bit more attacking in the top end there than normal. I don't know. You tell me. For Barnsley, Collins, Britton, Hellick, Anderson, Vita, Wolf, Gomez, Styles, Bassi, who I think is probably the key player after his performance last week against Borough, Keena, and Morris up top. Let me know your thoughts on this team news and the key players. We are going to rattle through the Championship as quick as possible. I will get to your comments imminently. Don't you worry about that. Brucey returns to one of his many former clubs. It's Hull versus West Brom. Ingram in goal for Hull. Greaves, McLaughlin, Jones, Slater, Fleming, who I like the look of, the left wing back. Doherty, Smallwood, Honeyman, Lewis, Potter, and Smith. For the Baggies, Johnston, Ajayi, Bartley, Clark, Townsend, Furlong, Livermore, Mower, Gardner, Hickman gets the start. Robinson and Carlin Grant. I'll go for Fleming then, being as I've enjoyed his couple of assists in recent times. Big game up at the Riverside here. And a good result for both of these two last night with that late goal for Nottingham Forest and Ryan Yates getting that equaliser. Helps both these two, doesn't it? Middlesbrough versus Luton. Woof. Lumley in goal for Borough. Jokesteel, Fry, McNair, Taylor, Jones, Crooks, Howson, Tavernier, Balogun, Connolly. For Luton, Palmer in goal. Interesting. I think new in from West Brom to cover the absence of Jed Steer. Naismith, Burke, Lockyer, Bell, Bree, Osho, Campbell, Adebayo, Hilton. He's been playing well. Jerome as well. I think maybe Jones, as he tends to be, could be the key player in that game. Preston versus Bournemouth. It's a bogey team for Bournemouth, but they've won 4 on the bounce, I think, haven't they, Bournemouth? Get your key players in for any of these as we rattle through the Championship team news here on the Superstream. Iverson, Diaby, Vandenberg, Hughes, Earl, Potts, Whiteman, Brown, Johnson, Archer, Evans. For Bournemouth, looking to get back past Huddersfield, who won again last night, didn't they? Travers, Smith, Phillips, Kelly, Zamira, Billing, Cook, Campwell, Lowe, Solanke, Anthony. Let's go for Zamira as the key player in that one off the top of my head. How many to go in the Championship, guys? 4 to go. I'm going to rattle through. We'll get your comments imminently. We'll just see the state of play in the Championship with the team news here. QPR versus Cardiff. Marshall in goal for Rangers. Dieng injured, I presume. Dickey, Dunn, Barbe, Wallace, Odebajo, Hendrick, Field, Willock, Chair, Gray for Cardiff. Smithies, NG, Flint, McGuinness, Doughty, Drammer, Wintle, Volks, Rolls, Colwill, Hugel. I think we might well make Willock the key player in that one. Let's move on. Reading versus Millwall. Big game this. Millwall on a winning streak. Reading need to keep Barnsley and Darby at bay. They know one of them are dropping points today. Possibly both if there's an unhelpful draw. Reading, Southwood in goal. Yidam, Morrison, Holmes, McIntyre, Renomoto, Drinkwater, Ince, Hoylett, and the key duo of Swift and Zhao. For Millwall, Bialkowski, Ballard, Cooper, Wallace, Malone, McNamara, Mitchell, Saville, Jed Wallace. It was Murray Wallace at the back, Afobe, and Bury. Let's go for Jed Wallace or John Swift as the key player in that one. I'll hedge my bets very much. Stoke versus Blackpool. Stanley Matthews, Darby at, I am allowed to say, the Bet365 on this particular show. Bonham in goal for Stoke. Get your key players in. Get your thoughts. Moore, Jagielka, Harwood Bellis, Timon, Smith, Vrancic starts, Baker, Sawyer's back, Powell, and Madger. Stoke looks strong, actually. For Paul, they're on good form. Well, they have been over the last 6-8. Grimshaw, James, Ekpiteta, scored last week. Thornley, Stirling, Hamilton, Stewart, Dougal, Bowler, 5 goals in 7. Lavery and Medine, who are combining nicely up front for Blackpool. Last one in the Championship. And we'll have a look at some of your key players. Swans versus Coventry. We appear not to have an image there. So if I hit the minus button on that, is that going to fit all on the screen? I think it will. Thanks for nothing, SofaScore. So look, Fisher in goal for Swans. Let's assume Cabango, Norton, Manning back three. He has played Manning centre back, hasn't he? Possibly Smith at wing back and Christie the other side. Pass, Pirro, Patterson, Obafemi front three, Grimes and Downs. Look, we've had Downs in central mid defence as well. So it could be him in there. It could be Manning wing back. Don't know what Swansea shape is going to look like there. For Coventry, Moore in goal. It will be Clark, Salter, McFadzean and Rose across the back. Kane will be right wing back. Martson's been further forward, but it looks like... Oh, no, beg your pardon. Bidwell will be left wing back. So Martson's going to stay further forward. Sheaf and Allen centrally. So I assume Martson front left. Maybe Harmer front right or in the midfield 3. Gyökeres up the top. Apologies. We'll get a graphic on that as and when it lands on SofaScore. There you go. There is your team news done. Let's have a look at some of your key players in here. What do we got here? Lawrence and Bassi going to be the keys there. Absolutely. What else have we got? Wayne, bigging up Harry Wilson, who's got his 20th goal contribution today. Bambo Diaby, first start. Whack a 5 on him getting a hat-trick, Alistair. Interesting. Palmer, emergency loan for Luton. Hopefully he can settle in nice and quickly there. Billing, key player, always a key player for Bournemouth. How has Cantwell been doing? Absolutely fine, hasn't he? They're finding their way through Bournemouth at the moment, aren't they? Any more key players, and then we'll have a look at League One. Godden finally back on the bench. That's great news for Coventry, Callum, isn't it? Bowler to bag on his birthday. Well, he's been bagging every other game, hasn't he, Matt? So we will see. Down centre-back, Smith central midfield, man, possibly. We'll see how Swans end up lining up. Let's have a look at League One quickly, and then got so much to do. How are we doing for likes, by the way? Did we get up to 43 likes? Wonderful stuff. Let me just hit this button here. See if you can get us up to 50 likes before 3 p.m. That would be a tremendous start. Thank you all for your support as ever. Let's just have a look in at League One. Let me know if you've got any detailed thoughts on this. We won't go forensically through the team news. Cambridge versus Shrewsbury. We'll stop on Charlton versus Sunderland because Sunderland had a very good win last week at Wigan. Very convincing. In fact, they're back into the top 6, and Charlton have been in free fall. That one is on the Acca big money Acca in terms of an away win. They're Cheltenham versus Doncaster, Crewe versus Wycombe. That looks like a reasonable fixture for Wycombe to get their form back. They did have a win last time out against Cambridge. That must have been in midweek, mustn't it? Fleetwood versus Mylar Ipswich. Gillingham versus Bolton. Lincoln versus Sheffield Wednesday is on the win, Acca. And the Acca guys are behind Sheffield Wednesday on that one. They've been in fantastic form Wednesday, moving up past both Sunderland and Wycombe and Plymouth, indeed, into 5th spot. Oxford Burton is also on one of the Accas behind Oxford on that one. They are in 4th, although they did suffer defeat last time out against Pompey, who are also in good form. They play Morecambe. Plymouth play Morecambe, looking to get back in the top 6. Plymouth. Pompey versus Accrington. Big game, though. Look at that. Rotherham versus MK. That is 1st versus 3rd in League One. Obviously, Rotherham are miles ahead. They're 10 points ahead of MK. So they could do themselves a favour, MK. They could do Wigan a favour. Wigan a second, and they play at home to Wimbledon. Any thoughts in on League One as we close in on the 3 p.m. kickoffs? Jed and Bury, key threats. He adds a bit of movement, doesn't he, Bury? Which maybe Millwall haven't had, particularly under Rauer. Vinny, nice to see Godden on the bench. Yeah, agree with that. He was in fantastic form when he got injured. Bannon has been in fine form, hasn't he? Nat, far too good for League One, isn't he? Worry about that Birmingham defence still. I know what you mean, David, but it's better than it was, isn't it? At least they got some dedicated defenders in there. Have we hit 50 on the likes? Let's have a look. Wonderful, wonderful. 60 likes. Astonishing stuff. So that means I can very, very advantageously press that button. Can we get to 100 likes? We'll see how we go during the show. See if we can get up to 100 likes. Right. Before we play first goal, can we very, very quickly do a roll call here? I want to give a shout out to all of your teams. So right now in the chat, you only need to put one thing. Let me know who is your team. Who do you support? I would love for somebody to keep count and let me know as I read through them how many different teams we have represented. We want to give a shout out to all of your teams in the chat there. Get your comments in. This is your chance. Roll call. We're going to shout out all of your teams. Who do you support? I take it you want them to win this afternoon. They might have already played. They might have played last night. Let's get the roll call going. Let me know who your team is. Hopefully we get plenty of those down there in the chat. I'll let that run a little bit more. Let me know your team. We'll do a quick little roll call before the super stream starts. And then we're going to check in with Mount Rushmore. Then we're going to play first goal. And I'm in a rush. I'm in a Mount Rushmore. That was a spoonerism, wasn't it? Right, let's give a shout out to all of your teams here. Bristol City, we got represented. Barnsley, someone keep count for me, please. Huddersfield, Birmingham, Norwich. Shout out to MK Dons, difficult game against Rotherham. Bournemouth, Norwich, Fulham, well played. They've already won. Wednesday, Alf. It's the first opportunity today to press one of my favourite buttons. So childish, but I'm never going to stop pressing it. Barnsley, good luck, Dylan, against Derby. Forest, who drew last night. Preston, Fulham, Blades, Fulham, Coventry, Oldham. Well done, Peanuts. They're on one of the Accas, actually, aren't they? Preston, Blades, Stoke, Fulham, Derby, Bournemouth, Barnsley, Fulham, Shrews. Go on, Matt. Rotherham, Swansea, Bristol City, Borough, QPR, Forest, Fulham, Albion, Huddersfield. It's going okay right now. You're not wrong. How many teams do we have represented there? There must have been 30, mustn't there? Surely. I hope so. Right, let's have a quick check-in with Mount Rushmore, and then we are going to play first goal, and then it is 3 p.m. And we are go on Mount Rushmore this week. We've lost Mitrovic. He's gone. We've lost Jeffcott. He's gone. This week's Mount Rushmore. We have Carlos Corberon, who was voted in last week. Get your comments. We've got to keep Alfie May on of Cheltenham. He's only been on there for 1 week. Cameron Brannigan stays on. We were asking who was going to get voted out last week, and then Brannigan immediately scored again. He's still dining out on those 4 penalties in 1 game. And new in there, we said he was going on, Sam Smith. What key do we do this in? Wrong. Stay with me. Sam Smith has made Mount Rushmore. Get your votes in during today. So Mitrovic is out and Jeffcott is out. Corberon and Sam Smith have joined Alfie May and Cameron Brannigan on the Superstream Mount Rushmore. Any comments on that? What are we getting in there? No suggestions. We will get some suggestions as we go as to what's going on Mount Rushmore during the show. Right. Are you ready, everybody? This is a shout out. You need to tell me in 1 word, just write the home team, their name, not necessarily them scoring. Where is the first goal going to be?
You have to say that's magnificent.
Let me give you some options. Would you believe it was my partner from the What Acca podcast, Matthew, got it right last week. The first goal was at Wigan last week. I think Sunderland scored it as well, didn't they? Where is the first goal going to be? Let me give you some options. Will it be at Villa, Burnley, Newcastle, Norwich, Wolves? It won't be at Liverpool. They kick off at 5:30. Will it be at Bristol City, Derby, Hull, Borough, Preston, QPR, Reading, Stoke, or Swansea? Will it be in League One? Big hint, it's often in League One. Will it be at any of these stadiums? Cambridge, Charlton, Cheltenham, Crewe, Fleetwood, Gillingham, Lincoln, Oxford, Plymouth, Pompey, Rotherham, or Wigan, where it was last week? Where is the first goal going to be? Get your votes in. Somebody always gets it right. Let me know. Where is the first goal going to be?
You have to say that's magnificent.
Right, let's have a quick check, see who's going to win. Someone will win. Someone always wins. Where is the first goal going to be? You've got to remind me if you do win. Right, here we go. Preston, Lincoln, Crewe, Swansea, Baggies, Ashton Gate, Derby, QPR. It's not going to be at Liverpool. Bournemouth, Lincoln, Newcastle, Swansea, Crewe, Newcastle, Fleetwood. I hope it goes in one particular net there. Borough, Norwich, Bristol, Derby, Hull, Crewe, Charlton, Wickham, Derby, Oxford, Barnsley, Charlton, Cheltenham, keep and Hull there for Jerry at the bottom. Keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on everything. Here we go. The Super Stream is about to begin. It's 2:59. I've ticked off everything on my list. Let me just give one more shout out to the 100 like target as we await the first goal. We are on 74 likes. Can we get to 100 ASAP? This is the Saturday Super Stream. I'm going to immediately go to the Premier League table just to have a little check-in. Hopefully, we can have a look at everything before all of those games go red and teams start to get a point added on. I just particularly want you to look down at Leeds, who have lost again. First game under Jesse March. So there is a scenario today. Did Everton play today? Let me just have a quick double check. I don't think they do they? Burnley definitely play because they're playing against Chelsea. Watford play tomorrow. Norwich and Brentford both play. So, look, Burnley with a win could overtake Leeds. They are playing Chelsea, to be fair, though, so unlikely. Watford are playing Arsenal. The issue between Norwich and Brentford is a big one. Look, Brentford 15th. They've got a bit of breathing space, but imagine Norwich were to win that game. They'd go up to 20, and then potentially any points for Everton could be prohibitive there for Brentford, and they could very much become part of that bottom 5. It's 3 p.m, guys. We're awaiting our first goal. Someone is going to win. Let's check in with the Championship League table, where it looks like we kicked off in a couple of games. So remember, the teams in red will have had a point added on already. So it does get slightly confusing. Not very confusing for Fulham fans, though. They're just counting how many more games. Generally, over the last 10 years, 85 points. If you've got that on average, you would finish above the 84.7 points that third place has got on the last 10 years on average. So Fulham, essentially are 12 points by those metrics. Whatever you think of them, might not need to be that high this season either. Can you see many teams getting into the 80s or into the mid 80s? I'm not so sure. Fulham really are 10 or 12 points away from promotion with 12 games to play. You would suggest down at the bottom of the Championship as we await our first goal in any of the Premier League, Championship or League One games. I can see we've had one in Scotland. There's always one in Scotland early on, isn't there? The key game there is Barnsley versus Derby. Reading are at home to Millwall. So look, they've added a point on SofaScore already to Derby, Barnsley and Reading. Peterborough lost last night at Huddersfield. They are on 21. So look, a Derby win would take them to 24. A Barnsley win would take them to 26. Remember, a Reading defeat would leave them on 29. And the key bit of information I suppose you've got there is out of all of those teams down the bottom four, and I did a video on this yesterday, you can check out on the channel. Out of all of those teams, Barnsley play everybody. So Barnsley, and particularly, I think it's April the 2nd, possibly, start of April, Barnsley play Reading at home. Okay, so that might be one to circle on the old diary down at the bottom of the Championship. Let's have a look at League One as things stand, and we've got our opening goal. Who said Bristol City? I think a few of you said Bristol City, didn't you? They've not scored the opening goal. They've conceded it, by the way. It's Bristol City 0, Birmingham 1. Let me know and give me some party poppers in the chat there if you got that right. I think we got 3 or 4 people got that one right, didn't we? I'm pretty certain of it. Bristol City 0, Birmingham 1. And that game is one of the ACCA games, isn't it? I think it's on the both teams to score ACCA. They've gone over to Peter Smith for on the Gillette show. So we're just awaiting the goal scorer. And surprise, surprise in League One. And this is bad news for one of our ACCAs. Lincoln 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0. That is a big surprise. And we outlined him as the key man, didn't we? Taif Chong, on 2 minutes of his return for Birmingham City, has scored. Lincoln, John Marquis, the former Doncaster and Pompey striker, expensive striker for Pompey, he's now at Lincoln, has given a surprise opening goal in League One. They're Lincoln 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0. That's not good news for our win treble. We're behind in one of those games on 2 minutes there. Our BTTS treble is looking slightly better. I think we can put a tick in next to Birmingham on the BTTS. They've scored after 2 minutes. So a good start and a bad start with our ACCA business there. No goals in any of our big money ACCA games thus far. I'll go to your comments in just a second, guys. Drink every time I say that and you'll be on the floor pretty quickly. Let's have a look at the League One table then. And yeah, good news for the chasing pack there with that Lincoln goal. A bit of a surprise one. Sheffield Wednesday are behind. So, state of play there. Rotherham are miles ahead. We can talk about them in 3 or 4 weeks' time if loads of results go a certain way. In the main, they're going up, aren't they? Wigan, MK. MK can catch within... no, they can catch Wigan today, but they are playing Rotherham in that big game at the top, so it could work out well in some respects for Wigan today. Oxford are at home to Burton. Wednesday are behind, which does open up the door for Sunderland and Wycombe to go past them in League One. Let's get into the chat. Who got it right then? Who got it right? Barlio got it right. Who else got it right? Anybody? What did I say? There you go. I knew there was 3, 4, 5 of them. There we go. Wednesday losing. That is a surprise start to the day in League One. Troy Parrott's had an effort already for MK Dons. Whilst we await our next goal, we are on 88 likes. That's tremendous. But can we get to 100? Hit the like button. it may seem silly, but it does help more people find the stream and helps me play silly games with the like targets, doesn't it? 2 goals so far in the Superstream. Everything ticking along the bottom there. Lincoln 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0, John Marquis. Surprise, surprise, that one. Birmingham are leading 1-0 at Bristol City. The return of Taif Chong, we bigged him up and he scored after 2 minutes. You are watching the Saturday Superstream. If you feel like hitting the like button isn't enough, you can support via Super Chat. Just hit that dollar button and you can donate anything you want. Just helps with our running costs. It's quite hard to earn money out of YouTube, put it that way, if you don't have 1 million subscribers. And your Super Chats really, really help with that. So please do, if you have the disposable funds to do so, help me out with a little Super Chat and we'll pop them all up on the screen and read them out as they come. Couple of goals in Scotland. Pretty quiet in Championship, League One, Premier League so far. 7 minutes, 7 past 3 is the time. 7 minutes gone. Only a couple of goals thus far. Was that a successful? There we go. Unbelievable scenes. We have hit the 100 likes. Let me say a huge thank you to everybody. We've hit the 100 likes button at 7 past 3. That is exceptional stuff from you lot. And it's exceptional stuff from Oxford. Oxford 1, Burton 0. Oxford take the lead. They could be big winners today because we know Sheffield Wednesday are losing up at the top of League One. It's Oxford 1, Burton 0. I believe that's also good news for one of our Ackers, the Win Acker. We are at the moment behind in one of those games, but we're now ahead in one of them as well. So Lincoln are leading against Sheffield Wednesday, which is bad news. Oxford are beating Burton, which is good news for us. It's also good news for Oxford, especially given that Sheffield Wednesday are losing and that Rotherham are playing MK Dons. So could be a really good day when we're looking at our winners and losers later on. Oxford at the moment, so far, are the big winners today, aren't they? Oxford are leading against Burton. You can see they're going to go on to 65. MK are playing Rotherham and Sheffield Wednesday are losing. It's coming up rosy so far for Oxford United. Sam Baldock, the goal scorer in that game. Thank you very, very much. Peanuts, 99 cents on the super sticker. Very, very kind. We have some action in the Premier League. Thank you again, Peanuts, for the super chat. And it's one of our dearly departed. It's Aston Villa 1, Southampton 0. Villa have the lead in the Premier League. It is a rarity, seemingly, for one of our dearly departed to win. But Villa have taken the lead against Southampton. Villa looking to find their way back towards middle, top half of the table if they can get there by the end of the season. Ollie Watkins is the scorer, former Exeter and Brentford. I'm going to say striker. He was a winger for Exeter and a winger and then a striker for Brentford. A striker for Villa, is he? Or is he playing on the inside left now position? Who cares? He scored. Watkins gives Villa the lead. Villa go 1-0 up. Let's just see what that's done to the live Premier League table. Remember, Leicester won early on. So Villa are kind of responding to that, aren't they? Villa going up to 33 points if that Watkins goal can secure them a win today. Villa going up to 12th in the table. Remember, Brighton have had a point added on in respects of their game. So there is even a better upside for Villa today, looking at Brighton's goal difference if Newcastle were to take the lead in that game up in the Premier League. Right. Can we get to some comments? David, thank you very, very much. Very kind indeed. A £5 super chat and a mil from David. I think he's literally paying me to press this button, isn't he? There you go. Thank you. David's a regular in the chat and a great supporter of the channel. Thank you so much. Luke, congratulations. He's got his first proper job. Well done. What are you doing? Waiting. Unbelievable stuff. Well done, Luke. Congratulations to you. Jack, like many Birmingham fans, is very pleased to see Taif Chong returning. And we're probably going to have some pleased Villa fans, because I was just saying, were Newcastle to take the lead against Brighton, Brighton are going to drop below Leicester and Aston Villa. That has literally just happened. So we'll check the Premier League table. I believe Brighton are just going to drop a couple of places in the live league table. Newcastle lead. We should give Newcastle a shout out. I don't know if we've got any Newcastle fans in. They're doing absolutely brilliantly lately, in superb form and just storming up the table now under Eddie Howe and the Saudi ownership. And there you go. So Villa have just gone up a place. Not when they scored, when Brighton conceded. It's ever so tight. Look at that. Saints 35, and they're behind against Villa. Leicester have already won. They're on 33. Villa are currently on 33. They're leading. Lots of moving parts. Ryan Fraser, the goal scorer for Newcastle. Brighton, of course, are behind. And we have a goal in the Championship. It's a very nicely spaced out goals for me to talk about today. When's the glut coming? Swansea 1, Coventry 0. Coventry fans were telling me during the week, Ben, we don't do well in Wales. They were right so far today. Swansea lead, Jamie Patterson. It's always Patterson or Pirro for Swansea, isn't it? Swansea have the lead. Swansea 1, Coventry 0. And that gives us a perfect in to go and check the live Championship League table. I'm sure we'll be looking at the playoff picture plenty today, but we need to look down as far as Swansea. And they're going to be going on to 44 points. What do we say every season? 45 to survive. Swansea are going to be moving to within 1 point of that traditional survival total with 13 to play. As things stand, Jamie Patterson is the goal scorer. Wow. Bristol City 0, Birmingham City 2. How about that? Great start for Birmingham. They are 2-0 up in 13 minutes at Ashton Gate. It's Bristol City 0, Birmingham 2. We said Chong was back. We like the look of the attack with Taylor and Hernandez, I think, was the other two up there. They are already 2-0 up. Birmingham's going to be a great day for them, potentially. Wow. Nico Gordon has scored. Get him on Mount Rushmore. Is it his debut today? We got any Birmingham fans in? That might be a debut goal for Nico Gordon. Well played, son. Outstanding stuff. And speaking of outstanding, Newcastle's brilliant form is continuing. Brighton are dropping off, aren't they? Newcastle have just gone 2-0 up. Ryan Fraser, former Bournemouth man, had given them the lead. They are now 2-0 up, Newcastle. We're just awaiting the goal scorer. Just seen Tim Sherwood on Gillette mimicking a header. So maybe Chris Wood has scored. Let's all say hello to little Enid. I've just been sent a little Snapchat of little Enid. Bless her. She looks like she's having a lovely old time. Any info on Nico Gordon would be appreciated. That could be a debut goal. Fabian Schär, who we think is playing right back in place of England man Kieran Trippier, has scored for Newcastle. They are 2-0 up. Newcastle looking really good for Newcastle. We said Oxford big winners. Maybe Newcastle big winners. They're 2-0 up. Brighton might be big losers. And Plymouth, in the chase for the League One playoffs, Plymouth have just taken the lead against Morecambe. We took Luke Jeffcott off Mount Rushmore, didn't we? Are we going to have to put him back on? I wonder. We'll await the Plymouth goal scorer. Plymouth lead against Morecambe. Connor Grant is the scorer. Just to check in with Mount Rushmore, Jeffcott had been on there for a long time, hadn't he? So Mount Rushmore this week is Carlos Corberon, Alfie May of Cheltenham, Cameron Brannigan of Oxford, and Sam Smith of Cambridge. We'll get your votes in. Any nominations for Mount Rushmore during the show, please get them in. If I can give a quick little plug, and then we'll go to some comments. If you haven't already, if you're new around here, please hit subscribe, as it says down there. We've got 20,800 subscribers. We're actually quite close to 20,000 900 subscribers. I think it's like 20,885 or something like that. If you hit the subscribe button, it really helps the channel grow and us to reach more people. So do hit that subscribe button. We will, I tell you what we're going to do. We'll have a look at the League One table, and then we're going to check in with your comments. A really pertinent need to look at the League One table because Cheltenham have just taken the lead against Doncaster. Cheltenham won, Doncaster nil. It looked like Doncaster were getting a little bit of a second win. Well, first win they've really had this season, down at the bottom of League One. But they are behind at the moment against Cheltenham. I believe Wycombe have just taken the lead as well. That's just flashing up right now. Yeah, Wycombe lead against Crewe. It is all going on in League One. We must get across to that league table before I get to reading out some of your comments. So this is bad for Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday are losing, and we now know that both Plymouth and Wycombe are leading. Has anybody swapped places? Let's have a look. Yes, Wycombe have overtaken Sunderland, in fact. Sunderland are 0-0 in their game against Charlton. Wycombe lead, so they've gone up to 6th. Remember, Sheffield Wednesday are behind also. Down at the bottom, Cheltenham lead. Oh God, Alfie May of Mount Rushmore fame has scored. So Cheltenham lead against Doncaster. Donny on 29 down there. Cheltenham, nice and safe. Look up there. It's not 45 to survive in League One, of course, because 4 teams get relegated. That is very much a 3-team figure. And Portsmouth lead against Accrington will stay right on that live league table. And they've got it up there. Portsmouth closing up on my lot, Ipswich there in to 10th place. Pompey lead against Accrington. The goals flying in. George Hurst, yes, son of, has scored for Pompey. Portsmouth 1. Accrington 0. Portsmouth in really good form in League One. Under the Cowleys, I said I was going to go to your comments. I promise I will. But that is good news for the Watchalong win treble. And Sheffield Wednesday are letting the side down here. Oxford lead. Pompey lead. 2 legs out of the 3 in the win treble with Watchalong are coming in at the moment, but Lincoln are leading against Sheffield Wednesday. We've got a tick next to Birmingham in the BTTS treble as well. Oh, and we've got a big goal in the Championship just flown in at the Riverside. We've got one in the Premier League as well. But I think the more pertinent goal is the fact that Middlesbrough have taken the lead. And if my maths is correct, Middlesbrough 1, Luton 0 would mean Middlesbrough would overtake Sheffield United and move in to 6th place. We've got a goal in the Premier League as well. Wolves 0, Crystal Palace 1. Paddy McNair has scored from the penalty spot for Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough have won 8 games on the trot at the Riverside in all competitions, including a win over Tottenham in the FA Cup in extra time in midweek. And they lead here against Luton. I'm stalling on the Championship table because Brucey bonus, Hull 0, West Brom 1 has just flashed up on my phone as well. Hull 0, West Brom 1. Is he finally going to break his win duck? 5 games so far for Bruce at West Brom. 4 defeats and a draw. 0.2 points per game. Horrible start for Bruce. He's on for a 3-pointer today. But have a look at the top of the table. Looking 6th position. Middlesbrough versus Luton. Middlesbrough 1-0 up. They have overtaken Sheffield United. And just in case you didn't know, Tuesday night, I will be there. Sheffield United versus Middlesbrough. The Championship fixture list is very, very much delivering at the moment. Let's see what that goal's done for West Brom as well. What have you done for me lately? They're going to go up to 49 points only in 12th place. They just need to get moving under Brucey. Let's go to some comments and see what we say. What have we got here? George, first half goal again. I'm in shock. Up the West Brom. There you go. Obviously, we are completely unbiased on here, so commiserations to Hull fans, of course. What else have we got in the chat here? Who scored the Pompey goal? I don't know. Anyone got the Pompey goal scorer in the chat for us? Borough lead, McNair penalty. We are catching up with all of that. Any other comments? Sorry, I'm scrolling up here. Sargent shoots over the bar. Nat says, Lincoln playing well all over us. Interesting. And yes, Alfie May, we should have flashed up Mount Rushmore. Can we get a Mount Rushmore clean sweep, I wonder, this week? We got Carlos Corberan did win last night. Alfie May has already scored. What are Cameron Brannigan and Sam Smith going to be up to this week with our Mount Rushmore picks? By the way, at halftime, we will be playing the CV game. Get your ideas in for that. I've got to stop right now because massive goal. Derby 1, Barnsley 0. Really big game. It was the big game we picked out in the championship, and Derby have taken the lead. Barnsley have been in really good form. They've won 3 in their last 4. Derby are good at home, though. And Derby, 2 things to say about Derby. They've done very well against the teams in and around them at home. And first goal has been key in Derby's games. Wigan have also taken the lead against Wimbledon. So, big couple of goals there at the bottom. Well, not many places apart, in fact, at the bottom of the championship and the top of League One. It's Derby 1, Barnsley 0, and Wigan have just taken the lead. Ravel Morrison is the goal scorer for Derby. Wigan have just taken the lead against Wimbledon at the top of League One. Let's have a look and see what that does. Derby fans are going to be behind their former manager, Gary Rowett, as well, because Reading are playing against Millwall today. Marcus Harness has been red carded for Pompey. That is bad news for the Watchalong win treble, even though Pompey are leading in that game. They are down to 10 men. Let's have a look at the bottom of the championship then. And you will see Derby will switch places with Barnsley. Direct rival, couldn't be a more direct rival next to them in the table. They will go on to 24 points. The key for Derby as well is now that Reading do not win. Reading are 0-0 at the moment with Millwall in that game at the Select Car Leasing Stadium. So, Peterborough lost last night. Peterborough look done, honestly, don't they? They look like they're planning for next season with Grant McCann in League One. Barnsley and Derby, I know they're only a couple of points ahead, but you can make far better arguments for a possible climb towards Reading than you can for Peterborough, who are not in good form. I think 1 win in 20 games now in the championship for the Posh. Derby will finish the day with 24 if they win. Reading, if Millwall win, will go to 29. It's 0-0 at the moment, so SofaScore has added on a point, and they will be on 30. The gap will be 6 points. Remember, in fact, I can show you rather than tell you, currently, Barnsley have a game in hand on Reading and 2 games in hand on Derby. Reading have a game in hand on Derby. So Derby have played the most games, and we have lots of conversations here in the chat about points on the board and games in hand and all of that good stuff. Look, the future tells us the answer to all of that, doesn't it? Wigan's goal scorer, Will Keane. Someone have a look in the chat for me. How many goals has Will Keane scored for Wigan this season? Must have over 15, mustn't he? He's had a tremendous season, Will Keane. Loads of injury troubles over his career. Don't know who this Will Keane bloke is. Well, there you go. Oxford 2, Burton 0. Looking very, very nice for Oxford today. Certain results going for them around them, especially with this surprise involving Sheffield Wednesday at the moment. Rotherham have a penalty. Could get even better for Oxford if Rotherham score this penalty. Rotherham are playing MK, who are 3rd. Oxford are 4th. Oxford really, really looking like our big winners so far on the Superstream today. Oxford are 2-0 up against Burton, and we think, if the chat is correct, MK are down to 10 as well. Daniel Harvey has been red carded for MK. That sounds a lot like a denial of an obvious goal scoring opportunity. And we think Rotherham have a penalty as well. Let me bring up the live League One table for everybody, because we think we're about to see some movement, possibly, if Rotherham can score this penalty. Keep your eyes on this. I'll keep my eyes on the chat as well. Will Keane has scored 16 goals in League One. Where was that at Town? On the injury table, no good. Penalty Rotherham and MK down to 10. Have Rotherham scored the penalty? Are we about to find out? Oh no, goal disallowed for Oxford. That took a while, didn't it? Oxford are only 1-0 up, and if Rotherham don't score the penalty, I'll rescind everything I just said about Oxford being our big winners thus far. Rotherham have scored the penalty or the rebound, or a goal has flashed up. I can't say with confidence. Dan Barlassa, who's probably too good for League One, the former Newcastle United midfielder, has given the Millers the lead on 25. They are, well, you tell me in the chat, who's getting promoted first out of Rotherham or Fulham? They are both streaking clear at the top of their division. So Rotherham lead. Oxford, contrary to the information we got, are not 2-0 up. But up there at the top of League One, Rotherham lead. They're going on to 79. Wigan lead. MK are behind and down to 10, and everybody around them is winning. Could be the big losers today, MK Dons. Oxford lead against Burton only by 1. Lincoln 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0 is a surprise up the top there. Wickham are leading as well. So we've got 4 teams leading already in the top 6, 2 behind. Nobody in the top 6 of League One is drawing at the moment. Sensational stuff. Remember, a Sunderland goal will pierce them right through that, and they'll go up to 5th as well. Plymouth are leading in 8th position. Excuse me. Let's get to some comments here. Rotherham, 100 points challenge. Can they do it? Let's have a look. So Rotherham, 79 points. So 72 would be 2 points per game. So they are 7 points ahead of 2 points per game. That comes out at 99. Can they do it, Rotherham? Can they get the 100 points challenge? Shaylee and Enid are here, everybody, the real bosses of the channel. Afternoon. Thank you for joining. If you're new, don't forget to like and subscribe. It sounds like I've told her to say that. I promise they haven't. Thanks for the super chats. Really appreciate it. Have a great afternoon. Thank you, Shaylee. I think she's across over the road at the in-laws. So, yeah, and thank you, everybody, saying nice things to Shaylee and Enid. Yeah, don't play Status Quo. Yeah, Enid was enjoying Status Quo more than Coco Melon this morning. She likes Coco Melon. She likes the Baby Century songs as well. But she did very much like Status Quo, which you can see on my Twitter, at Benjamin Bloom. Who are your big winners and losers so far? MK are looking like could potentially be a big loser in the top 6 there in League One. Let me know who your big winners and losers are so far. Thank you to your nice comments for Shaylee and Enid. And Mr. Radio Floyd, I'll drink to you, sir. He's super chatted many times. Thank you. 99p on the super sticker. Thank you very, very much, Mr. Radio Floyd. Very, very kind. I just saw another goal fly in. Plymouth have gone 2-0 up against, Portsmouth. Did Portsmouth go down to 10 men? Take about Portsmouth. They were 1-0 up. I think they went down to 10 men when Marcus Harness was red carded. Straight red, so he's going to be out for 3 games as well. They've gone 2-0 up. Sean Raggett, the former Lincoln and Norwich centre-back, has got the goal to put Pompey 2-0 up. Remember, Pompey had that mad game last Superstream. I think they were 3-0 down, weren't they? Someone smarted me up in the chat on the correct timings. I estimate it was about 35 minutes and Pompey were 3-0 down against Fleetwood, and they drew 3-3. Incredible goings on there. So Portsmouth lead 2-0. Remember, they do have to play probably, I think, about 70 minutes of that game with 10 men. Going to be an interesting afternoon at Pompey, but they've been in very, very nice form, haven't they? I did try and do a plug for the CV game at half-time. We're going to be playing the CV game at half-time. Always good fun. Get your ideas in. All you have to do is list the players' clubs. You have to write loan after loan, believe you me, if there are any loan moves. You have to have them in the right order and all the clubs there, and we will try and name the player. So, for example, if you put Southampton, Blackburn, Newcastle, we would all say Alan Shearer, wouldn't we? Could even put a Newcastle at the beginning, although he never played for them. First off, just a trainee there, but you get the idea. That'll be the CV game. Don't put them in now, put them in at half-time, and we will get playing. We're 31 minutes into the Saturday Super Stream, so it's probably a good time to do a sweep. And I will make a promise that I will not break away from this sweep, even if anything amazing and noteworthy happens. In the Premier League, and I'm not going to promise there, because there's a big goal in the Premier League, and probably the biggest game in the Premier League. Norwich 0, Brentford 1. We knew Ericsson was starting. We knew Tony was back. Have either of them scored? Norwich 0, Brentford 1. Could be a really, really big goal. That one could be a very decisive goal for Norwich's survival hopes or lack of. I said I wasn't going to interrupt myself, but I have. Norwich 0, Brentford 1. We'll await the goal scorer. We think that's the biggest game in the Premier League in the 3 PMs. And we have a goal in that one. If anyone's got the goal scorer, do let me. There you go. Ivan Toney. He's back and he has scored. Already broken away. David, I hadn't strictly speaking started. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. So it could be really good news for Brentford, that one. As things stand, they will go on to 27 points, just under a point per game. 38, you would think, would be well enough to survive. Ivan Toney is back starting and back scoring. Norwich will remain bottom, of course, with anything other than a victory today. A victory would take them to 20 points and above Watford, who play Arsenal tomorrow. Norwich are behind in a key game. And although I'm completely impartial on this stream, good news for one of our win-treble teams. Sheffield Wednesday have just equalised. They were the only team other than MK who were playing Rotherham who were behind in the top 6 in League One. They have just equalised. It's Lincoln 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1. You can still find him, everybody. Saido Berahino is the goal scorer. Right, I promise I'm not going to interrupt this sweep. We're going to do a sweep of all of the scores here. I'm supposed to do one at 3:30, aren't I? And I stopped because Brentford scored pretty much 1 second into this sweep. I'm not even going to look at anything over here. Right. Yes, I am. Crystal Palace have just gone 2-0 up. It's on the screen. I promise. I'm gonna type it into here, and then I'm gonna do the sweep. Palace 2-0 up at Wolves, who don't concede many goals. Also don't score many, Wolves, do they? Interesting. So in the early kickoff, Leicester 1, Leeds 0 in Jesse Marsh's first game. It's Villa 1, Southampton 0, Watkins. Burnley 0, Chelsea 0, Newcastle 2, Brighton 0, Shah and Fraser. Norwich 0, Brentford 1, Tony. Wolves 0, Palace 2, and Wilf Zaha is the goal scorer. Has just put Palace 2-0 up. Liverpool, play West Ham at 5:30 in the Championship. Fulham march on. They won 2-0 against Blackburn in the early kickoff. Last night was Huddersfield 3, Posh 0, and it was Blades 1, Forest 1. It's Bristol City 0, Birmingham 2. Derby 1, Barnsley 0 in that big 22nd versus 23rd at kickoff. They're still 22nd and 23rd, but they swap places. It's Derby 1, Barnsley 0. Who scored for Derby, by the way? I don't even remember. Hull 0, West Brom 1. Middlesbrough 1, Luton 0 in a key playoff game there. Borough are going up into 6th position. There's been a couple of goals in League One since I've been doing this sweep, I have to say. We'll catch up with them in a sec. Preston 0, Bournemouth 2. QPR 0, Cardiff 0. Did I say Bournemouth 2? I meant 0. Don't all shout in the chat at once. Reading 0, Millwall 0, Stoke 0, Millwall 0. I reiterate, Bournemouth have not scored. Swansea 1, Coventry 0, Patterson. And in League One, Cambridge 0, Shrewsbury 0. Charlton 0, Sunderland 0. Cheltenham 1, Doncaster 0. Mount Rushmore's Alfie May in the goals again. Crewe 0, Wickham 1. Fleetwood 0, Ipswich 0. Gillingham 0, Bolton 1 has just happened. Aaron Morley scored just a couple of minutes ago to give Bolton the lead against Neil Harris's Gillingham. And Oxford have now gone 2-0 up as well. Those were the two League One goals that occurred during this particular sweep, and they will now be ticking along the bottom beautifully there. Lincoln 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1. Wednesday just equalised Berahino. Oxford just went 2-0 up. Gavin White, who was at Oxford, wasn't he? And then Cardiff, and now he's back at Oxford. Have I got that right? Plymouth 1, Morecambe 0. Pompey 2, Stanley 0. Pompey were 1-0 up, then went down to 10 men, and then went 2-0 up. Strange order of events there. Rotherham 1, MK 0, and MK are down to 10. I assume that was a foul that built up to the penalty that Dan Barlaser scored to give Rotherham the lead. Wigan 1, Wimbledon 0 at the top of League One. Worth, let's get some comments in here. MK fans not happy with the red card for Harvey. Yes, a clear penalty, but the double jeopardy rule. So just to be very clear on this, I haven't seen the incident. So double jeopardy applies in the penalty box only if the player did not make a, quote, deliberate attempt to get the ball. So, for example, if it was a shirt pull, you would still get red carded. It's only if you make a, quote, deliberate attempt to get the ball. We got any Derby fans in here? Because Reading are behind. Reading 0, Millwall 1. It's coming up rosy for Derby. Could they be big winners? Reading 0, Millwall 1. As things stand, it's the perfect storm for Derby. Millwall have taken the lead at Reading, which means we're getting a 3-point swing in the Championship relegation picture. Jake Cooper has done it again. I haven't seen the goal. I can picture it. He's 8 feet tall. He's climbed. He's 15 feet in the air. He's nodded it in at the back stick, probably from a set play or something. Jake Cooper, former Reading player, in fact. He scored last week, didn't he, against Sheffield United. A few years back, under Neil Harris, Cooper was seen as sort of the most fearsome dead ball guy in the Championship, and he's getting that reputation back now. The goals flying in for Jake Cooper. Reading 0, Millwall 1. Get your reactions in. Reading fans, Millwall fans, and Derby fans as well. They're going to be pleased with that. QPR 1, Cardiff 0. Rangers take the lead against Cardiff. So we must go to the Championship Live League table because that hots things up now. Could be a bad weekend, even though they only drew for Sheffield United. Now we've got QPR leading and we've got Middlesbrough leading as well. Let's bring up the Championship table and see the effect of those two goals that have just gone in. First of all, take a look down at the bottom. Cheltenham 2, Doncaster 0, as well as just occurred in League One. Andre Gray is the goal scorer for QPR. We've been saying for a while, QPR really need to sort out their, who are Willock and Chair providing for, essentially. It hasn't been clear with Dykes and Gray and Austin, but Gray is in and he scored today. Anyway, have a look down the bottom there. That's the perfect scenario that Derby fans wanted before kickoff today. Derby are leading against Barnsley and Reading are behind against Millwall. So it looks like SofaScore wants me to look at the top of the table, though. That was it, not me resetting. QPR lead. They're going to go on to 59 points in 4th position there. Blackburn lost earlier against Fulham. Huddersfield won. Bournemouth are level. So it could be a decent day if Bournemouth don't win for the chasing pack, i.e. Huddersfield, QPR. Do you want to go down as far as Middlesbrough? They're 7 points off Bournemouth and will have played 2 games more. Middlesbrough lead against Luton. All hotting up there. It's not much point me saying much more because it's all going to change between now and the end of the show. We just had another goal. Sorry, my phone is going doolally here with notifications. I think it's giving me old notifications. Although I think I've got a couple of new ones here that tell me Swansea have just gone 2-0 up against Coventry and Oxford are 3 up against Burton. So we will go to the League One table. It doesn't really change a lot, but we're pretty certain Sam Baldock's got his second for Oxford. He's on a hat-trick. Can he join teammate Cameron Brannigan up on Mount Rushmore? Interestingly, though, because Coventry were in the playoff picture going into today, weren't they? And I think I've still got the championship table on the other screen. So Coventry are going to be overtaken by Millwall as things stand. It could be a bad day for Coventry. They're 2-0 down. Michael Obafemi has scored the second. Jamie Patterson had given Swansea the lead earlier in the first half. It could be a really bad day for Coventry, couldn't it? They could be one of our big losers today, with Millwall leading, with Middlesbrough leading as well. That will stretch out the gap to 6th place, which everybody in that top half will be looking at. Whether realistically or not, they will be looking at it, won't they? Let's have a look at League One then. Oxford are hammering Burton. They are 3-0 up. Oxford 3, Burton 0. MK, well, let's just put our necks on the line here. MK are probably going to lose today, aren't they? They're playing Rotherham, who are the best team in League One, tells the league table, and most people's eye test as well. And they're down to 10 men. I know MK are a good side, keep the ball very well, but come on, Rotherham away with 10 men and a 1-goal deficit? Really? Really? Wigan are leading as well, as you can see. Oxford are 3-0 up. Sheffield Wednesday were behind against Lincoln. They are now level. Can they continue their good form? And then, if that's the case, it'd be a really bad day for MK, because you would then have the entirety of the top 6 winning and MK losing. At the moment, Sheffield Wednesday are still level with Lincoln. Why do I say that? Because there is the Watchalong win treble at 7-1 as well. It just needs a Sheffield Wednesday goal, doesn't it? Of course, may the best team win. No offence to any Lincoln fans watching. So Oxford are 3 up against Burton and Pompey are 2 up against Accrington. Wednesday are level at Lincoln and in good form. We think we got a tick against Birmingham. Honestly, I haven't checked in with League Two for a while on the BTTS. And I think we can put a tick against Newport, can't we? Where are they on my list there? Anybody? Help if I actually bring League Two up, won't it? Newport 1, Bristol Rovers 0. We can put a tick against. What's happening between Oldham and Carlisle? 0-0 there. So in the BTTS treble there with Watchalong, I'm going to stick a tick next to Newport as well. So we've got 2 out of 6. The late, great Meatloaf. Can I play that song? Maybe we can talk all night, but that ain't getting us nowhere. That's supposed to be 2 out of 3 ain't bad. 2 out of 6 is all right. On the we got a goal to interrupt myself singing there. Aston Villa 2, Southampton 0 in the Premier League, and Plymouth have just gone 2-0 up against Morecambe as well. Villa 2, Saints 0, Plymouth 2, Morecambe 0. We've got a few teams 2 goals or 3 goals even ahead in League One already before half-time. A lot of them in the playoff chase. Ryan Hardy. It's always Hardy or Jeff Gott, isn't it? Hardy is the goal scorer for Plymouth. They've gone 2-0 up. And it looks like Villa are heading for a victory today as well. They're 2-0 up within the first half against Southampton. We are awaiting an Aston Villa goal scorer. What else have we got? Douglas Luiz. There we go. Swans are flying. Woof. What's going on in the chat here? Play nicely in the chat here, please, people. I don't want to be muting anybody in the chat, do I? We will try and behave nicely. If anyone does want to have an argument, please feel free to exchange email and keep it out of my my chat here. There we go. What is going on? Villa have just gone 2-0 up against Southampton. Plymouth 2-0 up now against Morecambe. Let's just check in and see the Villa situation. Oxford are 4-0 up. 4 by half times. Incredible first half for Oxford, who we've been suggesting for about the last 25 minutes are possibly going to be big winners today. Oxford 4, Burton 0. Penny for Jimmy Floyd. Hasselbank's thoughts at half-time. Matt Taylor, who scores a lot of goals on the Superstream, is the goal scorer there. Let's just check out the Premier League live league table. Just see what that does mean for the Villa. Not much has changed, has it? All ever so tight there. And what we do know is in that race there, between Brighton 33, Leicester 33, Villa 33, Palace 33. Palace are 2 up, by the way, at Wolves. And then Southampton 35. What it kind of does tell us is that in this remaining 10-12 games up in the Premier League, any kind of little above average run could take you from sort of 12th all the way up to 9th, 8th place there. Half times are coming in now. Are we okay in the chat? Looks like Millwall and Luton are having handbags. Yes. Let's all keep calm and be good to yourselves and one another in the chat. Let me know if I do need to mute anybody. Keep it nice and calm in the chat, and we can all have a lovely time together here on the Saturday Superstream. Brought to you with Watchalong. Yeah, friendly banter. We don't mind, do we? But let's not take it to heart, shall we? Watch out for the flying seats. Dear oh me. That's a reference to that game between Millwall and Luton back in the 80s. Do you know what? I was it was Neil Harris's last game over at Luton. That got a bit tasty outside the ground afterwards. There's been another goal at Oxford. Oxford have not scored it. Burton have got it back to 4-1. It's Oxford 4, Burton 1. 5 goals. There's always plenty of goals over at the Kassam, isn't there, on the Superstream. Oxford under Carl Robinson. Love a goal, don't they? We're getting up to half-time. Get your ideas in for the CV game over half-time. If you don't know the rules, someone in the chat will explain it to you. Just pop in. I'm looking at Paul Merson. What would Paul Merson's go? It would go Arsenal, Middlesbrough. No, Arsenal, Aston Villa, Middlesbrough, Portsmouth, Walsall. I can't remember the complete order there. He's a great player, Paul Merson, by the way. But I can't remember the exact order. Adelaine Guediura is the goal scorer for Burton. Where's he been? Watford? Sheffield United? Nottingham Forest? Can't remember who else Guediora has played for. Plenty of teams. We're coming up half-time in the Superstream. Let me know when your game is half-time. We should be pretty much half-time in most games now. It's 3:49. So what we'll do, we'll bash through the scores and then we'll have a little go at the CV game. Hold your thought on the CV game for now. While I'm bashing through the scores, by the way, how are we going for likes? 127 likes. I tell you what, I'm going to press a button here. Can we get to 150 likes? Please hit like if you're watching the Superstream right now. We're on 127. See how close you can get us to 150 with this latest plug from me to hit likes. I'm going to do the sweep and then we're going to play the CV game and chill out and calm down over half-time. So, your half-time scores in the 3 p.m.s today. Villa 2, Southampton 0, Burnley 0, Chelsea 0, Newcastle 2, Brighton 0, Norwich 0, Brentford 1, Wolves 0, Palace 2. Down in the Championship, down in the tube station at midnight, Bristol City 0, Birmingham 2. This is the 3 p.m.s. Derby 1, Barnsley 0, Hull 0, West Brom 1, Middlesbrough 1, Luton 0, Preston 0, Bournemouth 0, QPR 1, Cardiff 0, Reading 0, Millwall 1, Stoke 0, Blackpool 0, Swansea 2, Coventry 0, down in League 1, Cambridge 0, Shrewsbury 0, Charlton 0, Sunderland 0, Cheltenham 2, Doncaster 0, Crewe 0, Wickham 1, Ipswich are 0-0 up at Fleetwood, Bolton are 1-0 up at Gillingham, Lincoln 1, Wednesday 1, Oxford 4, Burton 1. Are they going to... They put 7 past with Gillingham, wasn't it? Plymouth 2, Morecambe 0. Pompey 2, Stanley 0. Pompey down to 10, though. Interesting. Keep your eyes on that one. Rotherham 1, MK 0. And it's Wigan 1, Wimbledon 0. Let's dive into the chat. And it looks like we've got some CV games. Are you ready to play the CV game in the chat? We'll do 5 minutes and then we'll have a look at your big winners and your big losers. Today, right, what do we got here? Oh, God. I'm dying already. Cornea, Sampdoria, Mantova, Peralta, Giroda, Luckeran, Barnsley, Preston. Barnsley, Preston says to me, Bambo Diaby, but let me know if I'm wrong in the chat. Luton, West Brom, Villa, Leicester, Birmingham, Hull, Derby, Gladly Gaming. That's got to be Curtis Davies, hasn't it? But let me know if I'm wrong in the chat. Copenhagen, Fiorentina, Brøndby, Göteborg, they were both on loan. Oh, crikey. Cardiff, West Brom Mill. Okay, that must be Ken Zahor. Yes? Yes, I think I'm right. CV game, Crew, Villa, Bari. You know, as soon as you see Bari, it's going to be David Platt, don't you? Juve, Samp, Arsenal, and Forest. Yes. Worth. Keep your CV game calls coming in. I think I aced that, didn't I? David Platt. Unbelievable scenes. We'll put it to the chat. I did a little bit too well on those. I don't normally do that well, to be fair, on the CV game. Keep your CV games coming in. Let's have a look at the state of play in the WhiteHartDane trebles. We are looking all right, actually. Oxford are home and hosed against Burton. They're 4-1 up. Pompey are 2 up against Accrington, but they're down to 10 men. Keep your eyes on that. Lincoln 1, Wednesday 1. If Wednesday come good, we are in on the win treble at 7-1 over with WhiteHartDane. BTTS. Now, did someone tell me in the chat? Yes, they did. So I need to put a tick against Oldham as well. I think Oldham have just taken the lead right at the end of first half stoppage time. So we're 3 out of 6. Ain't bad, aren't we? We do a different key. I want you, I need you. But 3 out of 6 ain't bad. There you go. A terrible tribute to the late, great Meatloaf there. 3 out of 6 on BTTS treble. 5-1 there you would have got on that with WhiteHartDane. The big money, Acker. Reading Millwall, we've got 1 goal. That's BTTS. Stoke Blackpool, we don't have any. Charlton Sunderland level. Fleetwood Ipswich level. I believe Barrow are beating Walsall as well. Could be wrong about that. Last time I checked, potentially that is going against us. So focus on those first 2, but do go and check out our partners, WhiteHartDane. You guys are great, honestly. Some people get a little bit snooty about partnerships and betting stuff as well. But you guys in the main really support the partners that are helping this channel grow. We thank WhiteHartDane. We thank you for your support. Head over there, WhiteHartDane.com. Any more for the CV game? Yes. Bring it on. Right, here we go. Nottingham Forest, QPR, Norwich, Rangers, Sheffield Wednesday, Colorado Rapids, Southampton on loan. My brain is going Dexter Blackstock, and I don't know why. Anything in that? Anybody? Let's have a look at some others here. Put the name of the person. So if you're answering Mr. Radio Floyd's, just put Mr. Radio Floyd in your answer in there in the chat. No Googling, please, you lot. Right, Leeds, Stanley, Grimsby, Doncaster all on loan. Barnsley, Hull, and then Hull. Who's just converted a loan? Barnsley. Is it Malik Wilkes? I think I've got it. Is it Malik Wilkes? What else have we got? Rob, Man City, Oldham. Sounds like a good player. Sheffield Wednesday, Blackburn Palace. I'm struggling with that one. I bet that's a classic player as well. Man City, Oldham. Loads of people went between Man City and Oldham in the late 80s. Is that where you are with this one, Rob? Sheffield Wednesday. Paul Warhurst. Paul Warhurst? I think I've got it. Alistair. So Bournemouth, Wolves, loads of loans. Leeds, Bristol City, Sheffield United, Norwich, Burnley, Brighton. Burnley, Stoke, Wickham. I'm struggling with that one. I don't think I'm getting that one. Anyone got that one? I'll leave it up a little while longer. Get your own ones in here. Right, Leeds, Posh, Birmingham, QPR, Arsenal, Man City. That's got to be the great David Seaman, hasn't it? David, what a player. Penarol, Bologna, Southampton, Hull, Borough. Why am I thinking Gaston Ramirez? Probably not. Who else did these? Yeah, I think it might be actually. Is it Gaston Ramirez, Sampdoria, Monza? Here we go. West Brom, God. West Brom, Wednesday, Leeds, Southampton, Forest, Coventry, Watford on loan. Wednesday, I'm never getting this one. Stockport, Dublin, I'm never getting that one at all. If anyone can get that one, good luck. Too many clubs for me there. I'll leave it up a little bit longer. Oh, good shout. Sam Vokes. Yeah, that's the one that ended at Wickham, isn't it? Well done, Gladly Gaming, on that one. What have we got here? I think I've just seen the answer to this in the chat, so I can't possibly... I think someone's already got it right in the chat. Genoa, Siena, Vicenza, Malaga, Empoli, Bari, Watford, Sheffield... You see, I'm saying I would have got it now. Watford, Sheffield Wednesday. Although how many Watford Udineses would we have at the moment? About 1 million. It is Foresty area, isn't it? Who got that one? John. Well done. Right, what else have we got here? Liam, Man City, Genoa, Celtic, Swansea. That's got to be Oliver Nitcham, hasn't it? Did he go round in that order? I think. Let's do a couple more. Which one was Carlton Palmer? Did I miss that one? I would have thought I would have got Carlton Palmer. Or was that the Paul Warhurst one? Have I just spoiled an earlier one here? Possibly. Everton, Tranmere, Oldham, Sheffield United, Everton, Oldham, Plymouth, Memphis. Christ. I was thinking that was going to be Paul Gerrard, but there'd be an Ipswich on there. I can't get that one, Ben. Anyone else get that one? So did Emily get Carlton Palmer? Which one was that? Well played. Oh, God, was it that one? Very well played in that case. Standing ovation for, where is she? Emily in the chat for getting that one. Way out of my league. Mr. Radio Floyd, we've done that one, haven't we? Have we? Possibly. Is that a new one? Can't remember. Yeah, I think we've done that one. Didn't we? Colorado Rapids? Pass. I don't think we've done that one. Nancy Metz Barnsley. That's got to be Anime Bassi, hasn't it? A very timely one, isn't it? Oh, crikey. As soon as that said Lincoln Newcastle, I thought it was Darren Huckabee. Probably hardest I've ever done. Come on. I've got to get this one. Lincoln Newcastle. Which Bristol? Come on. More detail. Birmingham, Luton, Derby, Luton, Chelsea. Not Mick Harford, is it? Sunderland, Coventry, Wimbledon. Is that Mick Harford? Mick Harford? Pass. Stefan. Palace, Spurs, Pompey, Fulham, Villa, Newcastle, Swansea. That must be a good player, mustn't it? Anyone get that one? I'm struggling badly. I think I can get that one. I think that's Christian Bielik, isn't it? What is this one? I'm struggling with that one. Jose Baxter. Deary me, no, I was never going to get that one. Can anyone get that one from Stefan? Probably a good player with all of those clubs. Can I have an easy one, please? I know how you feel, Nat. 3:59, so we've got to wind these up now. No more. No more. Oh, that's a good shout. Who said that? Nat. Andy Johnson. Yes. Well played. And it was Mick Harford. I'm a bit of a Mick Harford fan, actually, because Shaylee and I and her brother went to see Ipswich play at MK, and Mick Harford was there, and he was so nice to Shaylee because one of Shaylee's workmates is a big Luton fan, and I said to Shaylee, look, seriously, get a picture with that guy, she didn't know who he was, and send it to Brian, and he'll be well impressed. And Mick Harford was so lovely, you would not believe. Right, any more for any more? Don't put any more CV games in there, but I want to click through a few of these. Charlton, Ebbsfleet. I'm not getting that. No chance. Blackburn, Bournemouth, Everton, Watford. That's Josh King, isn't it? Arsenal. Oh, that's Ashley Cole. I'm all over that. Arsenal, Palace, Chelsea, Roma, etc., etc. Dave, Luton, Derby, Sheffield Wednesday. Apologies for Dave's picture there. Cover that up on your screen. Luton, Derby, Sheffield Wednesday, Benfica, Mark Pembridge. And that is a great shout by me. I'm having that one. That deserves a jingle. That is Mark Pembridge, wasn't it? What a shout that is. Right. Are we ready to reset for the second half of the Saturday Superstream? That was some outstanding CV gaming from you lot. Oh, come on. 146 likes. Where's my button? Right. Let's get this right now. Hit the like button. Get us over 150 likes right now. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. I'm watching on the other screen there. Let's see if we can get over 150 likes. Hit the button. Hit that thumbs up. Take us over. Yes, it's there. Well done, you lot. Outstanding work. Thank you very, very much. Hit that like button. Help the Saturday Superstream grow as a show. Reach as many people as possible. If you do have the kindness and disposable income, you can give us a super chat. Down where you leave your comments, you'll see a little dollar button where you can donate to us here. We're trying our best to make a living. We've got 20,000 subscribers. Probably need double or treble that to really, make a viable impact on the bills here at Bloom Towers with young Enid as well. So your super chats really, really do help. We try and read as many of them. Well, 100% of them out, preferably if people are kind enough to super chat. So please, if you have got the money, obviously don't if you don't. Just enjoy the show for free. It'll always be free. But if you can afford to super chat, it really, really is appreciated by myself and Shaylee and Enid as well, not to pull on the heartstrings too much. And we thank everybody who has done already. Peanuts and Mr. Radio Floyd both have super chatted earlier in the show. And also, one more plug before we get into the second half. Please hit the subscribe button. Let me give you a live total so you can see how close we are to maybe a minor milestone. 20,894. That's excellent. That's gone up during the show. So, excuse me. Do hit that subscribe button. See if we can get over 20,900. And I'm getting excited. The second half has started with a gigantissimo goal in the championship for Derby County. They have gone 2-0 up. Derby 2, Barnsley 0. We said it was all coming up roses for Derby, especially with Reading losing as well. They have gone 2-0 up against Barnsley. I suspect Wayne Rooney would have said something to the effect of, well done, guys. Go and get another one and you've won this game. And perhaps he said that and perhaps they have. Absolutely excellent stuff for Derby. It's Derby 2, Barnsley 0 already in the second half. Deserves a woof. Woof. There we go. Thank you, everybody. 150 on the likes. How does that Derby song go? Let me get a good key. Say Plymouth Button up in the sky. Don't know the words of da 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 da. Da 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 da. Everybody's da 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 Derby, my. There you go. I always play that before the games at Derby. And Derby have gone 2-0 up. Ravel Morrison has got the second. Sax Ben's at a gig. Excellent. Send us some pictures, Sax Ben. Be interested to see that. Thank you very much for joining us. Derby 2, Barnsley 0. A big start to the second half already. Ravel Morrison has got his second. Let's check in with that live championship table. And there it is. So that's solidified things over at Pride Park, hasn't it? 2-0 up there. Reading really need a goal, don't they, against Millwall? They're 1-0 down. The gap will close up to 5 points as things stand. And Derby are doing the business thus far. Derby 2, Barnsley 0. We said Well, our 3 big games have all got goals in. We said Darby versus Barnsley in the Championship. We said Norwich versus Brentford. And we said Rotherham versus MK in the Championship, in League One, excuse me. Goals in all of those games. Goal at the top of the Premier League. I bet you can guess, on the basis Liverpool and Man City aren't playing. That means that Chelsea have taken the lead against Burnley, which we do have to say for some of our dearly departed friends who may support Norwich, Brentford, Leeds, Watford. A bit of good news, actually. It's Burnley 0, Chelsea 1. All of the news off the pitch, really, at Chelsea this week, hasn't it? With Roman Abramovich announcing he's going to sell Chelsea. On the pitch, they're doing what they've done since Abramovich has been there, winning. It's Swansea 3, Coventry 0. Complete aberration for Coventry today. Reece James, who we very much enjoyed in the Championship on loan at Wigan, he was superb, wasn't he? I remember watching Reece James play right wing back against Ipswich twice. And then by the end of the season, he was playing in central midfield and running games. I think he was 18 as well. What a player he was. That wasn't a stretch for anyone who watched Reece James play for Wigan to say, yeah, he's going to play at the top level. He was ridiculously good, wasn't he? And he scored for Chelsea, by the way. Michael Obafemi is on a hat-trick. He's got his second goal. We had another player on a hat-trick. Was it one of the Oxford guys is on a hat-trick? Possibly. Someone help me out in the chat with that. Michael Obafemi is on a hat-trick. Obafemi is on a hat-trick. And is Steve Bruce going to get his first win? It looks far, far more likely now because Carlin Grant has just scored a penalty for West Brom. It's Hull 0, West Brom 2. Brucey is 2-0 up. He hasn't won yet as West Brom manager. He's going against one of his former clubs. Let's be fair, he's already his first game was against one of his former clubs at Sheffield United, wasn't it? But 2-0 now, West Brom lead in that one. Bulldog. Thank you, Daryl. West Brom 2-0 up. Oh, Brentford have a penalty. What is going on? Well done, you Baggies fans. Can we just give a shout out to our Baggies friends who have been here all the way through this bad run, I have to say so. In good spirits and good humour a lot of the time. So congratulations. Yes, Morrison's on a hat-trick as well. A good point, Claire. So do Brentford have a penalty? Is this what's going on? Oh, big goal at the top of the Championship. Preston 0, Bournemouth 1. Bournemouth are doing it again. I think they've won 4 on the trot, haven't they, Bournemouth? They are leading. Preston 0, Bournemouth 1. We said Preston is a bogey team for Bournemouth. That does not matter to Scott Parker and his players at the moment. It's Preston 0, Bournemouth 1. And the slightly erratic goal machine that Bristol City has kicked into gear. Bristol City have scored. So it's Bristol City 1, Birmingham 2. And straight at the same time, and this is very, very interesting news. Oh, my God, we got a glut. It's going mental. Another one of our BTTS picks has scored, but Aston Villa have also gone 3-0 up. It's all happening. So Villa 3 up against Southampton. Alex Scott is the goal scorer for Bristol City. What a great young player he is. And Brentford are 2-0 up at Norwich. Is this a nail in the coffin, a knife in the back, not even knife in the back, a knife in the front of Norwich against a rival who they may have fancied catching if with a fair wind, but not looking that way. And look, if Brentford get a penalty, we all know what happens. Ivan Toney scores. And I do genuinely believe when Thomas Frank said Ivan Toney is the best penalty taker in the world, I do genuinely believe he has a reasonable argument. If you watch all his penalties one by one, he's not even come close to missing one. Has he? Incredible penalty taker, Ivan Toney. Phil Coutinho was the goal scorer for Aston Villa. The other goal I was getting excited about was an equaliser for Carlisle against Oldham. Why am I banging on about that? Because in the space of a minute there, we now have 5 out of 6. I want you, I need you, but there ain't no way I'm ever gonna love you. Don't be sad, because 5 out of 6 ain't bad. I don't know that last chord, do I? I'm messing that up every time. 5 out of 6 on the Watchalong BTTS treble there. We just need Joey Barton's Bristol Rovers to score. Keep an eye on that. And then we have a winner. Wouldn't that be a fine thing? Chelsea have just gone 2-0 up against Burnley. So that's that one properly done and dusted, you would imagine, knowing how good Chelsea are. So some good news for the teams at the bottom, even though Leeds have already lost for our dearly departed. Norwich are 2-0 down. Looks like it's going to be a big win for Brentford today. Ivan Toney is also on a hat-trick there. And yes, we're just getting confirmation that Chelsea have indeed gone 2-0 up. Aston Villa 4, Southampton 0. What is going on? Kai Havertz was the second goal scorer for Chelsea. Villa are 4-0 up. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's going to be their biggest win of the season, isn't it, Villa? I know they beat ridiculously. It's not going to be their biggest win since they've been back up because, of course, they beat Liverpool 7-2 last season, didn't they? Which was one of the most insane things I think most of us have ever seen. But Villa are 4-0 up. Danny Ings has scored. Hell of a performance today by Villa. Hell of a result. That Blues defending made me laugh. About 3 players. Look, you've got to love that after a goal. Everyone, what? My man? Your man? Whose man was it? Yeah, exactly. Gardner Hickman is a fine footballer, apparently. A good player. Taylor Gardner Hickman. Massive win for Brentford if it comes through. Bristol on the... Bristol Rovers scored. Is this fake news? Let me just check. If they have, then our Watchalong... Let me have a look. No, they haven't yet. Oh, interesting. We were just saying, and we hadn't got a look at the table, that Bournemouth had taken the lead. Preston have just equalised. What's going on? Brighton have got one back. Newcastle 2, Brighton 1. And Brentford got another penalty. Hat-trick incoming for Ivan Toney, you would think, if they have. Lost to keep up with. So Brighton have got a goal back. Oh, and another goal. It's glut heaven here. Chelsea have gone 3-0 up against Burnley. What was the goal in the Championship? It was a big goal. It was an equaliser for Preston. Cameron Archer, the Aston Villa loanee. Someone check me in the chat. He must have 5 goals now for Preston. He's been a good loan signing, hasn't he? Lewis Dunk. You would assume that was a header from a set play if Lewis Dunk, the big, huge Brighton centre-half, has scored. Newcastle 2, Brighton 1. We'll check in with the Premier League table in just a second. I think it's probably more pertinent to have a look at the top of the Championship table. The goals are flying in all at once. We think Brentford have got another penalty, have they, against Norwich. Ivan Toney, I'll put it out there, never misses penalties. If that is indeed true, we'll have a look there. Is it happening? They've gone to Sue Smith. I'm assuming the penalty is about to be taken there. So look, Bournemouth are level at the top of the Championship. Huddersfield have won. QPR are winning. Fulham already won as well. Middlesbrough are winning as well. So it'd be a bad time for Bournemouth to not win, but they have been on a really good run. Ivan Toney plus penalty equals goal and a hat-trick for Ivan Toney. My question to you lot is, does he go on Mount Rushmore next week? I think he probably should do. Norwich 0, Brentford 3. Toney has the hat-trick. I'm assuming Toney took the penalty and didn't hand it off to anybody else. Of course, Ivan Toney has the hat-trick. It's Norwich 0, Brentford 3 in what we labelled as the big game in the Premier League. It's getting gnarly for Norwich. They are 3-0 down. Remember, Norwich won the Championship last season. Watford finished second. Brentford finished third and won the playoffs. But it looks like, from everything we can tell, Brentford are probably going to finish above both of those sides come what may this season. Let's get in to the comments. Preston have scored. Yes. Cameron Archer, what a player. Yes, he is. He's a tremendous player. Tony hat-trick. Tony scores. You missed Brum going back in front. Did I miss another goal? What is going on with Brum? I don't know. I think they were already 2-0 up, so I don't think I did. I think you might mean that Bristol City scored rather than Brum going back in front. They were never not in front. Crew 0, Wickham 2. Double check that one in the chat in a second. Wickham have gone 2-0 up. Lewis Wing. When did Lewis Wing go to Wickham? I thought he was at Sheffield Wednesday from Middlesbrough. I don't know. That one passed me by completely. Crew 0, Wickham 2. And a lot of the teams in the top 6 are like not just winning in League One. I think they're 2 goals up, a lot of them. Let's have a look at the League One live league table indeed and see how things are standing. So with that Wickham goal now, that means... so it's pressure on Sunderland, really, who are 0-0 down at Charlton. Remember, a Sunderland goal would pop them right through. Sheffield Wednesday level with Lincoln. Otherwise, Rotherham lead against MK. Wigan lead against Wimbledon, if I'm not correct there. Apologies. MK obviously are behind because they're playing Rotherham. Oxford are 4-1 up. They were 4-1 up before half-time. Wednesday are level with Lincoln. They were behind in that one, though. Wickham have gone 2-0 up against struggling Crew. And then Sunderland are drawing. So potentially, MK, well, they're playing with 10 men against the league leaders. But Sheffield Wednesday and Sunderland have got work to do to keep pace with everybody who seems to be winning at the top of League One. Goodness me. What have we got? Chelsea are 3 up. Do I need to change that on the ticker? I think I possibly do. No, we got that one up there. Kai Havertz, yes, he has got his second. Well, what was I just saying about MK Dons? Oh, dear. That was proper commentator's curse. I was saying, and well done, MK Dons. They're away at the league leaders. Rotherham are really good. They're down to 10 men. They've just equalised. Take a bow, MK Dons, who have shut me right up, haven't they? Or not as the case. Well played. MK, who were down to 10 against the league leaders, have just equalised. Rotherham 1, MK 1. Crew, having gone 2-1 down at home to Wickham, have just pulled a goal back. Pompey, who went down to 10 men at 1-0 up against Accrington, are now 3-0 up. So we got Take a Bow Pompey and Take a Bow MK at the same time there. George Hurst, that's his second. He's on a hat-trick. Ivan Toney was the first one there, though. He has completed a hat-trick on the Superstream today. Harry Darling. Oh, darling. Hang on, what key can we do that in? That's going to be way too high. Please believe me. No, wrong key for me, that one. The Beatles. Go and check out the documentary. There we go. Right, what have we got in the chat here? Let's try and catch up. Come on, Preston, get a winner. Well, they were behind, so parity at the moment between Preston and Bournemouth. Good side, MK Dons. Well, have to be to do what they're doing at the moment. Chris Porter is the goal scorer for Crew against Wickham. Right, how are we doing for likes? 164 likes. Would it be remiss of me to press this button then? Can we get 200 likes? If you are watching the show right now, can we get 200 likes? Oh my God, I don't believe it. Rotherham 1, MK Dons 2. MK Dons down to 10 men, a goal behind against the league leaders, and they've just scored twice in about 5 minutes. MK Dons lead. What a performance this is from MK Dons. Rotherham 1, MK 2 from the information I am getting. That is sensational if they can pull that off up at the New York Stadium there with Rotherham leading the way. Yes, Mo Isa has scored for the 10 men of MK Dons. Sensational stuff from Liam Manning and MK. Look at that. So as things stand now, the table hasn't even caught up with that goal there. It's about to change. MK are about to jump to 69 points, and that's a real cat amongst the pigeons. And now it'll only be Sheffield Wednesday not getting the win. And what chance of both MK and Portsmouth actually winning with 10 men this week? We did see a couple of teams in the Championship do it a couple of rounds ago on the same week. I can't remember who that was. QPR were one of them, weren't they? Who else won with 10 men on the same day as QPR? Someone will tell me in the chat, weren't they? Two people did it on the same day. I can't remember who the other one was, but there you go. Well played, MK Dons. MK Dons level it, and then 2 goals in 2 minutes. Absolutely sensational stuff. Nat, great to see the channel doing well. So thank you very, very much, Nat. And yeah, I should say we got loads of people watching, I can see here. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here on the Superstream today. We hope you are enjoying the show today. Please, as well, hit that like button. We've just had a massive jump up, actually. Thank you, everybody. 177 likes. See if you can get us up to 200 likes before the end of the stream. That would be magnifique, as Del Boy would say. How are we doing with our What Acca picks? We're partnered with, I did that with the wrong hand every time, don't I? Our What Acca picks. Well, if we get a Sheffield Wednesday goal, the win treble is coming in, I think. Look, Pompey are 3-0 up against Accrington. Oxford are 4-1 up against Burton. Lincoln 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1. We are just a Bristol Rovers goal away from the BTTS treble coming in. And no one can take that one away from us once it's happened as well. Absolutely tremendous stuff. Thank you for the likes. 179. See if you can get us towards 200. And do please hit that subscribe button as well. Let me know, who are your big winners? Who are your big losers so far on the Superstream as we come up to 4:30. It's 4:22. We'll try and plan a sweep and we'll go through all the scorelines. Oh, Lincoln 2, Sheffield Wednesday 1. No soon. I mean, well played, Lincoln. We should say that and be fair and objective here. But as soon as I was saying we need a Sheffield Wednesday goal for the What Acca treble there, we get the exact opposite there. I'm paying for some crimes, evidently, aren't I? Why can't we have nice things? Well played, Lincoln, though. Lincoln go 2-1 up against Sheffield Wednesday. This will be very bad. A very bad day for Sheffield Wednesday in terms of their rivals all winning as well. Have a look at that. So Wednesday are now behind again. And look around them. Look, Wigan, MK, Oxford, Wycombe. The 4 teams immediately around. Okay. The 4 teams, 1 below and 3 above, to be completely transparent about that, are all winning, with Sunderland level down at Charlton, who have not been in good form. I think Charlton have lost 5 on the trot or something, haven't they? So could potentially get worse. It's got better for Norwich. Norwich 1, Brentford 3. Norwich 67 gone. What have they got to lose now at 3-0 down at home to Brentford? Can they get a bit of a fair win behind them? It can be a pretty loud ground down there at Norwich when they do get moving. Can they get behind the team? They've got it back to 3-1 at home to Brentford. Norwich 1, Brentford 3. We will await the goal scorer. That is a response to Ivan Toney's hat-trick. We will see who the goal scorer is. Getting Lincoln, says Kirk. Well played, Lincoln. Great counter-attack goal. Receipt share, thank you, Mr. Radio Floyd, is the goal scorer for Norwich. 23 minutes plus stoppage time. If they get another one back, it will get interesting, won't it? Andy, love the fact I found your channel a few weeks ago. Better than Match of the Day. Thank you, Andy. Very, very kind of you to say. Indeed. Alistair. We are playing peak 2017 Alex Neil football today. Route 1 counter-attack with a strong sprinkling of Scherhausery. Well, it's working. Preston are up against Bournemouth, who are second in the Championship. They were behind and they are level. Preston 1, Bournemouth 1. Northampton 3, Tranmere 0. And my co-host on the What Acca podcast is a Tranmere fan and is at that game. So send your thoughts out to Matthew from the WhiteHartDane show. And that comes out every Friday where we run through our picks for the weekend. Oh, goal disallowed. Okay, disregard what I said about Norwich and a fair wind and a comeback. Apparently it's 3-0 all over again. I assume VAR has just chalked that one off. Seemed there was rather a big gap in between that one going in and that one being disallowed. If anyone's got eyes on that game, do let me know what on earth indeed happened. Right. Is it time for a sweep? Come on, let's do a sweep. And I promise I won't interrupt myself, as Murray Walker, the late, great Murray Walker would have said. And it feels like I need to go ding, 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 if I mention Murray Walker, doesn't it? So, Aston Villa 4, Southampton 0. Great day for Villa. Burnley 0, Chelsea 3. Newcastle 2, Brighton 1. Norwich 0, Brentford 3. Tony hat-trick. Wolves 0, Palace 2. Liverpool and West Ham play at 5:30. In the Championship earlier on, it was Fulham 2, Blackburn 0. In the 3 p.m, Bristol City 1, Birmingham 2. Derby 2, Barnsley 0. It's all coming up rosy for Derby at the moment. Look at that Reading scoreline as well. Hull 0, West Brom 2. First win for Brucey, possibly. Middlesbrough 1, Luton 0. Big game up there at the Riverside in the playoff picture. Preston 1, Bournemouth 1. Is that a slight opening of the door if Bournemouth don't win today? Huddersfield have won. QPR are winning. And there you go. QPR 1, Cardiff 0 is our next scoreline. Reading 0, Millwall 1. Big goal from Jake Cooper, former Reading player, scoring for Millwall there. Big goal for Darby, that one as well, potentially. Stoke 0, Blackpool 0. Swansea 3, Coventry 0. Looks like a big win possibly for Swansea today. In League 1, Cambridge 0, Shrewsbury 0. Charlton 0, Sunderland 0. Sunderland really could do with a goal to keep pace with a lot of teams winning in the League 1 top 6. I will break away just briefly enough to say it's Burnley 0, Chelsea 4. They are doing their potentially outgoing owner proud there with that win. And, well, we said, could Bournemouth be opening the door? If they are QPR not going to take advantage here because Cardiff have just equalised. QPR 1, Cardiff 1 over at the KPF in Shepherd's Bush. Right, where am I? I'm Cheltenham 2, Doncaster 0. Mount Rushmore's Alfie May with the goal score, the opening goal in that game. Crewe 1, Wickham 2. I think Wickham are going back into the top 6 with that one. Fleetwood 0, Ipswich 0. Gillingham 0, Bolton 1. Lincoln 2, Sheffield Wednesday 1. Be a bit of a surprise. Isaac Davies was the equalising goal scorer for Cardiff at QPR. Christian Pulisic, the American international, has put Chelsea 4-0 up against Burnley. Oxford 4, Burton 1. Plymouth 2, Morecambe 1. Oxford in the top 6. Plymouth looking at the top 6. Pompey 3, Accrington 0. And perhaps heroic surprise result of the day, given that Rotherham were leading against MK and MK had a man sent off in the build-up and the penalty decision for that goal. And then MK scored twice in 2 minutes. They're leading 2-1 at league leaders Rotherham. What a win that could possibly be for Liam Manning and MK Dons. Wigan 1, Wimbledon 0. Wigan will be perfectly happy, or will they? No, maybe they'd prefer Rotherham to beat MK. You tell me. They've got plenty of games in hand anyway, Wigan, haven't they? Goodness me. Right, where are we? Big losers today. Blackburn, yes, I would agree with that. Blackburn losing today, but QPR are potentially going to let Bournemouth off the hook here. What else have we got here? The Chain is the best bass riff in music. Best bass riff in music. Is that not... and this bit. What a bass line that is. Get your best bass lines in the chat here. Tremendous stuff. Gregory on for Sheffield Wednesday. They need a goal, don't they? Lots of teams need a goal. Portsmouth 4, Accrington 0. And they've scored 3 goals with 10 men. They are in absolutely stonking form, Pompey, aren't they? I believe they need a Fleetwood goal to go above my lot, Ipswich. But they have done themselves proud. And I do have to say, with my Watchalong hat on, they've done the Watchalong tip proud as well, which is more than I can say for Sheffield Wednesday, who are struggling today, losing 2-1 to Lincoln. Let's have a look at that. So that was the win treble today for our Watchalong pick, about 7-1. I think you got a boost on Bet365 from that. Pompey are winning 4-0. Oxford are winning 4-1. Sheffield Wednesday are losing. So our hopes are wrapped up, I think, with Joey Barton's Bristol Rovers, because we had both teams to score treble. Bristol City have scored, Birmingham have scored, Newport have scored, Bristol Rovers have not scored. Oldham and Carlisle have scored. So that is 5 out of 6 legs of that coming in. We just need a Bristol Rovers goal. Will we get one? I wonder. Keep comments coming in. This is the Saturday Super Stream. 184 on the likes. Can you get us up to 200 likes? Do hit that like button if you are watching right now. Everybody stay calm. Stay very, very calm, because it is Fleetwood 0, Ipswich 1 in League One on 72 minutes. I'll keep calm in case it gets disallowed. It looks like Ipswich have taken the lead at Fleetwood. Fleetwood 0, Ipswich 1. Which does mean... no, I'm not going to check in with that one. We will await the Ipswich goal scorer, but Ipswich have taken the lead on 72 minutes up at Fleetwood. Oh, QPR, what are you doing? QPR 1, Cardiff 2. I said 5 minutes ago, are Bournemouth opening up the door for Huddersfield and QPR? Since I said that, Cardiff have scored twice, and it's now QPR 1, Cardiff 2. Someone said in the chat that is Blackburn going to be a big loser today in the top 6? Maybe Blackburn and QPR are going to be big losers if we get this type of group of results that we're going to get. Gillingham 0, Bolton 2. Oh, God, and I'm seeing a gnarly one for Norwich. It looks like Brentford, Norwich having had a goal chalked out, or chalked off rather. It looks like Brentford have gone 4-0 up. Ivan Toney had already scored a hat-trick in that game. And it looks like Brentford have gone 4-0 up. Ruben Coyle, good young player for Cardiff, scored the second goal there. Declan John is the goal scorer for Bolton to make it 2-0. And I believe that is the first goal for Ipswich for Sammy Morsey, hugely popular player with most clubs he's been at, and he has given Ipswich the lead. Nice one, Cardiff. Coyle for Cardiff and Declan John for Bolton now. Dave, what the hell is going on? It's not a good run for QPR at all. Brian Mbeumo has indeed put Brentford 4-0 up. Let's have a look at the top of the championship. Or has he? No, he has not. Goal disallowed. We're getting goals chalked off left and right here in this game between Norwich and Brentford. Right, what we do need to do is check things out at the top of the championship. Sorry, let me just change that to not say. I don't know whether that will make the Norwich fans any happier. Probably not. 3-0, 4-0. What is going on? They've put it on and corrected it and took it off and corrected it and put it back on. I think we know that it's 3-0. Right, let's have a look at the top of this championship table here. So we were suggesting that Bournemouth may have opened up the door just slightly for Huddersfield and QPR, but QPR are now behind against Cardiff. And I mean, when you look at the games in hand picture as well, who really can catch Bournemouth if Blackburn and QPR aren't going to aren't going to win any games. They've both lost today and they've both been in poor form. Middlesbrough look a way back. And yes, Bournemouth have, even though they're not winning today, Bournemouth have games in hand on 4 games in hand on Huddersfield, 3 on Blackburn, 3 on QPR, 2 on Borough, 2 on Sheffield United. And then we're going further and further and further and further down the table. I hate to say it in terms of it being an interesting race, but you do almost feel if Bournemouth could get a winner today, it could be a really, really decisive week for them, because you're looking at that table and you're saying, who's catching them? Really? Really? With all those games in hand, it would need a hell of a collapse, wouldn't it, for Bournemouth? Wouldn't it? Alfie May has done it again. Cheltenham 3-0 up against Doncaster. Now, Alfie May is very much staying on Mount Rushmore, isn't he? And Lincoln have gone 3-1 up against Sheffield Wednesday. I tell you what, there's going to be a few fans of teams in the top 6 in the in League One. A few fans being very, very happy with Lincoln. Done them a big favour today. So Cheltenham 3, Doncaster 0. I have no idea what's going on at Norwich. Is it 3-0 or is it 4-0? It's been 3-0, then 4-0, then 3-0. Is it actually 4-0 now? I've got no clue. No clue what's going on there. I think it's 3-0. Yeah. But they had flashed up 4-0 on the screen there. Sky are having a bit of a nightmare there. Some duff information, maybe. John Marquis, he's on a hat-trick as well. Any suggestions, by the way, guys, for Mount Rushmore? Alfie May is staying on. I think Carlos Corberon better stay on this week. I think Ivan Toney might be going on in place of Cameron Brannigan or Sam Smith. Who do you want to see on Mount Rushmore for the Superstream next week? Do let me know. I think I'm going to make an executive decision that Corberon and May stay on there. So it's those last 2, Cameron Brannigan, Sam Smith. Sam Smith's only been on there 1 week, so maybe Cameron Brannigan could be replaced by Ivan Toney next week. Let me know your picks for Mount Rushmore here on the Super Stream. We've got a bit of a lull in goals, so I can go to some comments here. Pompey 4-0 up. Are they really? Goodness me. Let me just double check that one. Have we got that one up on the screen, or have I just not changed it on the ticker? Yeah, we've already got that one up on the ticker. Yeah, well played, Pompey. They've done that in the main with 10 men. 3 of the goals going in since it went to 10 men. Get me your picks in for Mount Rushmore. Who do you want joining? Carlos Corberon, Alfie May, and Sam Smith. Probably putting Ivan Toney in there, I think, after a hat-trick today, the Brentford marksman returning and in the goals as he tends to be most of the time. Ivan Toney. Reece on for Preston. Hopefully this season we do the double over Bournemouth. We will see. Let's be fair, a good 4 points against Bournemouth will be perfectly serviceable for Preston, won't it? Going to be lucky to get a playoff place at the moment. All gone to pot since the new signings came in. A chair came back from AFCON. Does appear that way. I'm not saying cause and effect, but that appears to be the timing, doesn't it? What else have we got here in the chat? Tempers fraying at the Riverside. Still only 1-0 to Middlesbrough there. I wonder if Luton can put some pressure on there. Morsey for Mount Rushmore. I'll get accused of not leaving my bias at the door, Matt, if I do that. Reading getting busy now, says Chris. They need to get busy, don't they, with Darby 2-0 up against Barnsley. It's 4:39 on the Superstream, so we're about 10 minutes away from the end of normal time in most of these games. We normally do go past 5 o'clock for all of these games to finish. I think probably be a good time to do a sweep, and I promise I won't break away from this sweep. I tell you what, the only way I'm breaking away from this sweep is if Bristol Rovers score. Because if Bristol Rovers score, then we win the Watchalong BTTS pick. Let's have a look. Right. Here comes your sweep then, everybody. And here come the goals invariably. Villa 4, Saints 0, Burnley 0, Chelsea 4, Newcastle 2, Brighton 1, Norwich 0, Brentford 3. Excuse me. Wolves 0, Palace 2. Excuse me, let me take a drink. In the Championship, and we'll just do the 3 o'clock. So, I know there's been 3 games played outside of that particular time slot this week. Bristol City 1, Birmingham 2, Derby 2, Barnsley 0, Hull 0, West Brom 2, Middlesbrough 1, Luton 0, Preston 1, Bournemouth 1, QPR 1, Cardiff 2, quite a turnaround in that one, Reading 0, Millwall 1, Stoke 0, Blackpool 0, Swansea 3, Coventry 0. In League 1, looks like Sheffield Wednesday could be the big losers today. Cambridge 0, Shrewsbury 0, Charlton 0, Sunderland 0. Charlton need a goal to get themselves back into the top 6 in the last 10 minutes of that one. Cheltenham 3, Doncaster 0. And Mount Rushmore's Alfie May has 2 goals on that one. Well played, son. Crewe 1, Wickham 2, Fleetwood 0, Ipswich 1, Gillingham 0, Bolton 2, Lincoln 3, Sheffield Wednesday 1. And everybody stay calm. Looks like Ipswich have scored. I'll hide my smile. Please leave your bias at the door, everybody. Oxford 4, Burton 1, Plymouth 2, Morecambe 0, Pompey 4, Stanley 0, Rotherham 1, MK 2. MK is still winning in that one, and they're playing the league leaders away, and they were behind, and they had a man red carded as well. Wigan 1, Wimbledon 0. Worth, we are about to find out, presumably, who the second goal scorer for Ipswich is. Caden Jackson, who's been very well rehabilitated by Kieran McKenna at Ipswich after not necessarily being particularly fancied by Paul Cook, the previous manager there. That is our sweep done, and we are going to be going into late goal time. I think we've all agreed late goals class as anything after 86 minutes. 86 minutes is not a late goal, but 87 is a late goal from what you guys have told me in the chat. As we wind down the Saturday Superstream, let me give another shout out for our 200 likes target. We are at 187 likes. It'd be tremendous if we could get to 200 likes. Some good news for Coventry on what may be a pretty bad day, to be honest. They've pulled one back. Swansea 3, Coventry 1. Obviously, still a 2-goal lead for Swansea. However, things get interesting if Coventry score again. And let's be fair, Coventry have been kings of late goals this season in the Championship. They've done it over and again, haven't they, in terms of... Nottingham Forest as well have been good with late goals, haven't they? But Coventry, I think, just out front in my mind on that. Gus Hamer is the goal scorer there on 84. Swansea 3, Coventry 1. Thank you for your super chats during the stream. By the way, you can support the channel financially. This will always be free, and I'll always ask you to hit the thumbs up button. But if you can support financially, that really, really helps us out here. Just hit the dollar button. Donate whatever you like. It's greatly, greatly appreciated here at Bloom Towers as we attempt the impossible to make a living talking about football in my spare bedroom here, which is would be a fine thing, wouldn't it? Let me just check in for completely selfish reasons. Now Ipswich are 2-0 up on the state of play at the top of League 1. Cheltenham 4, Doncaster 0. That could possibly be an Alfie May hat-trick, which would guarantee his presence on Mount Rushmore for at least another 5 weeks, I think. If he can pull off a hat-trick whilst he's on there, that would be quite the performance. Cheltenham 4, Doncaster 0. Commiserations to Doncaster fans. They're really struggling down at the bottom there, as you can see. So, from the top downwards, Rotherham are behind still against the 10 men of MK. So, Wigan, MK, Oxford, Wickham, all leading, which all points to a very bad day for Sheffield Wednesday, who are 3-1 down against Lincoln. Sunderland are not leading either. It is a fearsome pace. That does actually mean it's quite a good day at the moment for Plymouth, Ipswich, Pompey and Bolton. They're all winning, and 6th and 7th, the teams you're really sort of, well, let's be completely frank about it, you're always aiming at 6th place. Matty Pollock, the goal scorer for Cheltenham, no hat-trick for Alfie May, are losing. So the gap on Sheffield Wednesday in 6th and all of those teams chasing is going to close. And this could be really bad news for Michael O'Neill and Stoke. Stoke 0, Blackpool 1 on 86 minutes. Stoke not in good form, down to 15th in the table. I've said this a few weeks on the channel and on the Superstream. Give me a number. If Michael O'Neill's in 15th at the end of this season, does he get sacked by Stoke? He's been there a couple of seasons. Stoke have grossly underachieved their sort of club size since they've been relegated to Champions League. 16, 15, 14. Am I right? Have been their 3 finishes. So going to be 15 again. And he's done it again. Josh Bowler. What form that guy's in. Crikey, he needs to go on Mount Rushmore, doesn't he? Let me make a note. Bowler and Tony. Get him on there. 6 goals in 8 games for Josh Bowler. And has he got the winner for Blackpool over at Stoke? Could be a bit of a crushing defeat, that one, for Stoke City. They are a goal down. Let's have a look at the Championship table and see, because Swansea are winning as well. It could be even worse for Stoke. Apologies, Stoke fans, to fixate on this. No, they're not going past them, are they? They're level on points, though. There you go. So, look, Stoke in 15th. Swansea and Cardiff and Birmingham all winning, breathing down their necks as well. What is a safe number for Michael O'Neill? I don't think 15th is it? Really? Really? I'm not so sure it is. A quick little look as things stand. Bournemouth are drawing, but nobody other than Huddersfield last night is taking advantage. Blackburn lost. QPR are losing at home to Cardiff. Slip sliding down the table. Slip sliding away. Slip sliding away. A little bit high for me. There we go. Let's have a look at the comments. Touch, hits, nice. It's working. Come on, you Lions. Okay. Bloommobile. There we go. And what am I thinking about a late Millwall playoff push? I did a whole video on the playoff race, which you can check out. Right. I think we're into late goal territory. So let's play one of my favourite games, which is called There's Always a Late Goal. Where's the late goal going to be?
Thomas, it's up for grabs now!
Just tell me the stadium. Don't tell me who's scoring it. Where is the late goal going to be? Oh, is it Preston? Preston 2, Bournemouth 1. Is it all opening up for Huddersfield now? Unbelievable. Preston, we said they were a bogey team. They've taken the lead in the 89th minute against Bournemouth at the top of the table. Preston 2, Bournemouth 1. Where is the late goal going to come? I think it's come immediately at Preston. Well done if you called that one. And Bournemouth have won 4 on the trot. Are they going down? Are they going under to Preston? If they do, look at that, Huddersfield fans. Look at that. Bournemouth are behind. We need to keep our powder dry when it comes to Bournemouth because they've been late goal kings themselves the last 2 games. Preston 2, Bournemouth 1. Yes, I understand Bournemouth have a ton of games in hand, but look at that. It could be just the best weekend for Huddersfield possible. Blackburn have lost. QPR are losing. Bournemouth are losing. You could literally have 3, 4 and 5 in the table all losing, which is also very good news for Middlesbrough, who are leading at home to Luton and potentially catching up there. And Middlesbrough have just scored themselves. So Middlesbrough and Huddersfield could be big winners at the top. It looks like that one's done and dusted. Middlesbrough 2, Luton 0. Looks like Borough are winning a 9th successive game in the Championship. Let's just take one more look at the top of that table. Fulham have played and already won. They're miles ahead. Huddersfield have played and already won, but Bournemouth have just gone behind against Preston in the 89th minute up at Deepdale. Blackburn lost to Fulham. That's done. QPR are behind. Could be a really good day for Middlesbrough. Could be a really good day, well, yesterday, for Huddersfield. Sheffield Wednesday drew. Luton are 2 down, as we now know, against Middlesbrough. We're just waiting the scorer. Millwall as well. Millwall are winning. Millwall 5 wins on the trot. Good day for them as well. Are they too far back? Well played, Darby. Darby 2. Barnsley 0 is a full-time score. and Reading are behind as things stand against Millwall. Incredible. Preston 2-1. Reece. Preston doing the double. Incredible stuff. Just as I was typing, Bournemouth, Reece scores, really promotes, but potentially, yeah. I don't buy that plucky Bielsa effect on Huddersfield. Huddersfield don't play anything like Leeds did. I think it's a leap that a few people have made because he used to work with them. But my eyes tell me that, okay, he was a mentor to him. They don't play in anyway the same way, do they? Some happy Preston fans in the chat. Unbelievable. Carlos has let the dogs out. Full times coming in. Will there be a crazy late winner somewhere in minutes 90 to 99, as we do tend to get? As things stand in the Championship, particularly, where things look very interesting, and Reading have lost. Let's go straight to the live Championship table because Derby have won, Reading have lost. It's been a very good day for Derby. Derby have beaten Barnsley 2-0. Reading has just gone through as a full-time. They've lost at home to Millwall. Millwall have won 5 on the trot. We'll look at them in just a second. You can see them up in 10th. But 5 points is the gap now between Derby and Reading. Derby 2, Reading 0. And we've said for a lot of times this season, when you take out the points deduction, you look at the points per game, Derby are much better than those teams down in the bottom 6. I think they're 1.2 points per game. Everyone else is a long way under that. But can they fight back the 21 points deduction? They're having a pretty good crack at it. Final scores are now coming in. Let's check out the Premier League. There's only a few games in there for us to look at. We are full-time. Aston Villa 4, Southampton 0. Let me put it up on the screen. Villa 4, Southampton 0, Burnley 0, Chelsea 4. So great day for Villa, great day for Chelsea. Newcastle 2, Brighton 1, still playing. Norwich 1, Brentford 3. That could be a key defeat, particularly for Norwich, couldn't it? Wolves 0, Crystal Palace 2. We've got a major on the Championship. Let's just have a look in League One, where I guess the late goal you'd be looking out for would be for Rotherham, wouldn't it? Given there's a 10-men factor in that one. As it stands, Cambridge 0, Shrews 0, Charlton 0, Sunderland 0, Cheltenham 4, Doncaster 0, Crewe 1, Wickham 2, Fleetwood 0, Ipswich 2, Gillingham 0, Bolton 3. There's a late goal for you, only 86 in that game. But that's literally just come up on the screen as we say. Newcastle have won again. Take a bow, Eddie Howe. That rhymes. Newcastle have been absolutely superb. They must have won 5 out of the last 6 or something crazy like that. Newcastle, they're in tremendous form. And QPR have lost. So this lovely day for Huddersfield and Middlesbrough and Millwall is working out very nicely there. QPR 1, Cardiff 2. That has come through. Let me just go through League 1. Lincoln 3, Wednesday 1. Doesn't look like Wednesday are getting any points today, does it? Plymouth have 1. That's just gone through as a full-time. Oxford 4, Burton 1. Plymouth 2, Morecambe 0 is a full-time. Oxford is now a full-time as well. Pompey 4, Stanley 0. Rotherham 1, MK 2. Wigan 1, Wimbledon 0. Adam Smith has been red-carded for foul and abusive language, it says, for Bournemouth. That's not going to help their chances of coming back in that game. Will there be a late goal? There's always a late goal. Maybe our biggest late goal was Preston taking the lead against Bournemouth in the 89th minute there. Get your comments in via the chat in the Superstream. Big winners today in the Premier League. Aston Villa, Carlisle have just taken the lead in one of our BTTS games. I need to check. Have we had a Bristol Rovers goal? You're letting us down, Bristol Rovers. We have not, and they're into stoppage time. That's our only hope on any of the What-Acker picks. Now, Steve Bruce has won a game. Hull 0, West Brom 2. Well done, Steve Bruce. His first win. He's in his 6th game as well. Big winners in the Premier League. Aston Villa, obviously 4-0. Brentford are a big winner in that key game against Norwich. Big winners in the Championship look like Huddersfield, Middlesbrough, and Millwall in that top half there. They've all won, and results for other teams have gone against them. We do still have to acknowledge Bournemouth have lots of games in hand, but it looks like Bournemouth are not winning. They're still playing, but they are 2-1 down, and it looks rather heavily like they may well be losing today. Bristol City 1, Birmingham 2 is a full-time score. Birmingham have won at Ashton Gate. Stoke losing as well at home to Blackpool. I don't think it's a full-time yet. Let me just hit refresh over on SofaScore. Pompey 4, Stanley 0 is a full-time. According to this information, Ipswich have won 2-0 at Fleetwood. Hurrah. I'll leave my bias at the door again now. So we think Norwich and Brentford are still playing. They've had about 20 VAR stoppages there. And look, these games that we think are still going are both being led by 2 goals by the away team. So, in fact, Norwich-Brentford is a full-time now. That could be a nail-in-coffin type defeat for Norwich, we think possibly at the bottom of the Premier League. How many games do we still have going in the Championship? Really, all eyes are on Bournemouth, aren't they? Bournemouth have been late show gurus, haven't they, the last 2 games? We said it's a bogey team, isn't it? Preston always seem to beat Bournemouth, and they're doing it again today. Bournemouth are down to 10 in stoppage time, we think, as well, although I can't see a red card on there, but it did come up on the Gillette screen there. So we're looking possibly at Bournemouth and possibly at Rotherham in League One for key late goals. They're not happening, though. Wolves 0, Palace 2 is a full-time. We are all done up in the Premier League. I think all the full-times are through there in the Championship. It looks like 3 games to go, although it looks like Middlesbrough are home and hosed with seconds to play in that one and 2 goals up against Luton. Let's check in with some tables then. So, and forgive me, sometimes SofaScore does get a glitch in it at this time of the week when everything is updating. But look at the bottom there. Norwich, 17 points, 4 straight defeats. Key defeat and a key win for Brentford, who haven't won in the longest time as well. And they've won comfortably 3-1. Full-time, Preston 2, Bournemouth 1. Big cat amongst the pigeons scoreline there. I know Bournemouth have got a lot of games in hand, but that's the sort of scoreline that just opens up the door slightly, doesn't it? So anyway, down at the bottom of the Premier League, Norwich on 17. Watford play Arsenal tomorrow. Luton have just got a goal back in the 91st minute, I think. Or it could be even later than that. No, I beg your pardon. It just says 90 there. Luton have got one back against Middlesbrough. Can they launch one other attack? Middlesbrough 2, Luton 1. Now, MK Dons have beaten Rotherham with 10 men away from home from a goal down. That is take-a-bow stuff from MK Dons. They are one of our big winners today. Harry Cornick, 96th minute, that goal for Luton. Middlesbrough 2, Luton 1. Probably too little, too late, but you never know. Could we get a ludicrous comeback? Newport 1, Bristol Rovers 0. The Wattacker BTTS pick is not going to come in. Worrying for Leeds. They've played more games than everybody. But Burnley lost 4-0. Watford play tomorrow. Everton play tomorrow. Really good day for Brentford. They're a big winner today. 6 points gap, games in hand, but points on the board for the Bees. Ivan Toney back in the team, scoring a hat-trick there. Let's have a look at the Championship table where, unless we get a mad 2-goal, 96, 97-minute comeback from Luton, the big winners are going to be Huddersfield. Stoke have lost. Stoke 0. Blackpool 1. Michael O'Neill has got to be in trouble here, hasn't he? This is not good enough for Stoke. They're down in 15th place with Swansea and Birmingham winning around them. Let's check out the table where we think the big winners today are Huddersfield, who won yesterday, Middlesbrough, who are still playing but are leading, and Millwall. Let's have a look at the Championship table. So Fulham are miles ahead. They're away and gone. They're going to go up, aren't they? Huddersfield are second. Bournemouth, yes, do have a load of games in hand, but they have lost today. It is what it is. And speaking right now, Huddersfield are going up. But, of course, Bournemouth need to literally score 2 points across 4 games to leverage those games in hand. Blackburn lost. QPR lost. That's why it's been such a good day for Huddersfield, Middlesbrough in particular there, because 3, 4 and 5 all losing today. We think Middlesbrough are still playing against Luton, but they're 2-1 up. Deep into stoppage time. Middlesbrough have just had a goal disallowed, in fact, and the full-time whistle has gone. So Middlesbrough are big, big winners today. Sheffield United drew in the last minute. They would have been in the playoffs if they hadn't. Ifs, buts, what ifs and maybes. Luton have lost. Forest drew. Millwall have won 5 on the trot. Millwall are coming hard in the slipstream there behind everybody in the Championship playoff picture. Can they keep it up? They've got a lot to do. But look, everyone talks about Forest. Millwall's record is exactly the same as theirs, 14, 10 and 10. Well played, Millwall, 5th straight win. Have a look down at the bottom where things are still interesting. Derby have done such an incredible job of keeping it interesting. And remember, if Derby had not had the 21 points deduction, they would now be at 45 points. And I always say 45 to survive. So Derby generally, other than the points deduction, are more than a good enough team to survive this division. Can they catch Reading? Barnsley had a little surge, but Barnsley have lost to Derby today. A fair few wins. Look, 21, 22 and 23. Reading have won 2 of 5. So have Derby. Barnsley have won 3. That feels like a little bit of a surge and a little rising tide down at the bottom of the Championship. I believe Wycombe went 3-1 up. I'm going to take the ticker off at the bottom. There we go. I believe Wycombe, have gone 3-1 up. So we've got 2 games still playing, but there's a 3-goal lead and a 2-goal lead in both of those. So I think we can treat this as a final table, assuming there's no bugs in SofaScore. Rotherham, surprise defeat, and 1 point in the last 2. So a little drop-off in terms of Rotherham. Someone was asking about 100 points. That won't help. Wigan are within 4 points, and Wigan have got 2 games in hand. And as a side that is better than 2 points per game, they could well use those 2 points in hand to catch up. 2 games in hand to catch up, indeed. MK, heroic win at Rotherham. 4 wins on the trot. Take a bow, MK. Oxford, Thrash, Burton, Wycombe have now beaten Crewe. Sheffield Wednesday are the big, big losers because, look, all of the 4 teams directly above Sheffield Wednesday won, and Wednesday lost at Lincoln today. Sunderland drew, which does mean it was a good day for, dare I say, Plymouth, Ipswich, Pompey and Bolton. So the gap up to the playoff positions is, 1 point for Sunderland. They've played a game more. Plymouth 2 points, but they have a game in hand. It's a hard old trawl for Ipswich. 5 points, they've played a game more. Pompey, though, we'll be looking at that very interestingly. They've got a game in hand and they're in super form themselves. So I wonder whether you might see, don't want to see it myself, but you might see Pompey overtake Ipswich in the next few weeks. Thank you everybody for watching the Saturday Superstream today. I can see an absolute ton of comments there. JH, just reiterate what you said earlier, Ben Carlos, nothing like, I totally agree. I think it's an easy leap to make, but no, he's very much found his own way, hasn't he, JH? Agree. Top day in the Championship. Absolutely. West Bromwich Albion won a game. Unbelievable, Steve. Huddersfield have proven a lot of people wrong, me included, Andrew. I had them 23rd in my pre-season predictions. Rooney's done very well. He's been very, very good this season, hasn't he? Darby have given it a great go. Yes, they have. Thank you, everybody, for watching. This has been the Saturday Superstream. We'll be back with the review show. I can't even tell you when that's going to be because I haven't done my schedule for the next few days. It's a lovely big over and out from me. Where are we on likes? We went over the 200 likes. So I'll just press this button and say thank you very, very much to everybody. And I will see you all very, very soon. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to see more videos from this channel. Hit the subscribe button and to be notified every time we upload. Ring the bell for those notifications to come through on your device. If you really want to support the channel and me as a content creator, I will be eternally grateful if you head over to the merch store and grab something, or support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for your time. Go and watch another video.